due to the ignorance of our host. Parental discretion is advised.
Angel,
Yes.
you know Salt Lake is known for some pretty good food, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you know why?
Uh-uh.
Because of places like From Scratch.
From scratch. Is this one of those places when you... Let me ask you something. Is this one of these places when you go and when you order something, you know that you can buy that bread at Walmart?
Negative.
Is this one of these places when you buy ketchup and they bring you like the Heinz fucking bottle?
Nope.
Tell me all about it.
So it's in the name, From Scratch.
Okay.
Everything is from scratch.
Okay.
All ingredients from scratch. And when we're talking, you go in there, you sit down, and get ready to have your mind blown. Start off with some of the fire bread that they have to offer.
Okay. I'm a sucker for bread.
Yep. You could even start with a soup and salad, right?
Soup and salad.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Salad special of the day.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
We could have what I love,
Yeah.
the roasted beet salad.
You have talked about that before.
Yes, it is outstanding.
What about drinks? Do they have drinks?
Specialty beer on tap, and almost a full liquor cabinet.
I'm already sold, brother.
You like it?
Oh, I'm down.
How about food-wise? We talking some good food?
Yeah.
Right? How about a braised brisket sandwich? Ooh, yeah. How about a blue cheeseburger?
Blue cheeseburger.
Right.
You fucking serious?
A pastrami burger?
Nice.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Pizzas like you wouldn't believe.
Now, I'm a Ninja Turtle.
Yes,
at heart.
you are.
Do they
Yes,
have
you
pizza
are. So
too?
I knew you had it at pizza. Right?
You sold me, bro.
So,
Where are we going?
Downtown Salt Lake City.
Okay.
62 East Gallivan Avenue. For reservations and takeout, 801-961-9000.
That's 801-961-9000. If you want fresh made meals, no one's better than From Scratch.
This episode is brought to you by Happiest Cbd. Everyone's heard about CBD these days, right? Seems like everything contains CBD. CBD oils, CBD gummies, CBD rubs, CBD dog treats. I even found CBD suppositories. I used to be addicted to those, but I put that behind me.
You may find yourself asking, what is CBD? Well, CBD is all natural ingredients taken from the hemp plant. Contrary to some beliefs, CBD does not cause any euphoria or intoxication. In fact, CBD is believed to have many health benefits from physical pain, inflammation, anxiety, and sleep. The list goes on and on.
But with so many CBD companies out there, it's hard to trust the good from the bad. But fear not, your friends at the other side of the Beehive are proud to partner up with Happiest Cbd. Happiest Cbd is the #1 place to go for premium CBD that won't break the bank. Their broad spectrum CBD oil is made from simple, sourced from local, organic farms, and rigorously tested to provide the highest quality products on the market. Happiest CBD contains no THC, which means their products are completely work safe.
Happiest CBD have something for everyone, including broad spectrum CBD drops, roll-on CBD freeze, and CBD sleep aid. Head on over to happiestmed.com, that is HEPIUSMED.com, to pick up your premium CBD products today.
Happiestmed.com. Tell them the boys from the other side of the Beehive sent you.
Episode with Dre, do you listen to it? Do you listen to your podcast when you're...
I don't listen to him.
Really?
No, I can't listen to him.
Really?
Did you listen to the first few?
No. So here's the thing.
You've never listened to
No.
them?
So I knew that if I listened to, when I first started a podcast, I knew if I listened to it, I would never put it out because
Really?
I couldn't stand this. I couldn't stand the sound of my own voice.
How do you edit then? Do you edit your own stuff?
Yeah. So now I do, but I let my mixer and my mics do the work.
Yeah.
So I'll go through and like put it through I had a buddy of mine make me like a preset. So it does just a few things, right? I just hit the preset, let it go, and then...
Dude, this guy has the Joe Rogan microphones.
You got the Shores?
The Shure, yeah, dude. They're nice, man. I really like them.
We should be honored to have this guy over here.
Whatever, dude.
You looking for a studio?
Looking for a partner?
We share equipment.
Yeah, dude.
So you didn't listen,
Shit, man. I didn't stand you that far.
I'm saying you to him. Yo, so you didn't listen? You don't listen to Dre's then?
Do I listen to Dre's podcast?
The episode with you.
With me and Dre. Oh, no, not all of it.
Really?
No, and that was funny because we recorded it that morning, and the Saturday that I put it out, we put it out. Yeah. Because I was just like,
when did you just had an episode with K the Dog?
Yeah,
it's not out yet.
It's not out yet. So that'll be out on Saturday or Friday. Excuse me, next Friday.
How many do you have on the chamber?
So I usually keep like 5 or 6 in there.
Professional, huh?
Damn, dude.
Professional.
Well, just in case, because you guys. I mean, I was late tonight, but have you guys ever had a person bail on you?
Yeah, but we just still do it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
It's different with us, though.
Okay.
It's different.
I'm like, because if I do it right, if someone bails on me, then I'm like, shoot, dude. And so I gotta have.
Have you had anybody bail on you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Just put his handle, his Instagram handle over here. Who is it?
Right. No, but I've had people bail, so that's why I keep some in the. That's why I keep some.
Yo, before we go any further, Dalton Jensen.
Yeah.
Is it Jensen?
Yes, sir.
Applause, please.
Applause for the Thinking Project.
The Thinking Project.
Yeah.
Yes,
So the Thinking Project, and you call it a podcast for the small guys. Is that what it is?
Yeah, for the little guys.
For the little guys. So
Yeah,
what do you intend with that?
Like,
little
people?
What are your intentions?
'Cause on this podcast, we say midgets. I know we're not supposed to, but we still do, right?
Yeah. We like to
We're not
play Russian roulette
politically
with
correct.
rules.
Yeah, we're not politically correct.
That's a drug
cool,
to
right?
us.
That's awesome. No, it's a podcast for the little guys because the podcast originally was intended to be for like small business owners.
Yeah.
And we still do. Like I'll still interview small business owners, but no one puts them on like a pedestal, right? Mm-hmm. Like they might make it on, Salt Lake's a little bit bigger, so they might make it on like Good Day Utah, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Shout out to Big Buddha.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys are great, but you get a 2 or 3 minute segment with
Right.
them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I wanted something where they could tell their story and that they could have a long form interview, And so that's kind of where it started, just for the little guys, just for the small business owner, the guys who are grinding, the creatives who are grinding.
Has that changed at all? Or?
Well, so it started out, and I interviewed small business owners exclusively to kind of get my platform up. But then I switched to then I started incorporating like podcasters, other podcasters, and other creatives like musicians. I interviewed a few authors. So not like directly related to small business, but like I've always been, if somebody can write a really good self-development book or like a self-help book.
Lately, you've had quite a few authors on.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Cool.
They got some knowledge, you know what I mean?
You were way smarter than
Yeah,
this
that's what I was going to
podcast,
say.
for God's sakes. I was gonna say.
Authors for us is like, it's a no-no.
But let me ask you this: when you interview an author,
Yeah.
do you read that book before they come in?
There was one.
You're
there was,
professional.
There was
Holy
one
shit.
time I interviewed Samuel Cain, and his book.
Yo, I thought we was Samuel L. Jackson. I'm like,
No.
Anyway.
Samuel Cain, and his book hadn't been released yet, but I had like a good outline. I had a good outline from his publicist, and so we talked about what the book was going to be about and let him kind of ramble on that.
oh shit, man, I don't even
It was
read.
cool, dude.
Yeah, I can't even read. Are you shitting me? You're talking. I've said it before. Clearfield High, fucking prodigy, right here, bud. They teach you reading.
I still don't know what my diploma says.
I guarantee you, I can roll a better joint than any motherfucker in this room right here.
I believe you on that.
Dude, speaking of joints,
Yeah.
you were coming to us. You were kind enough to reach out to us before we even met,
Yeah.
and you took the risk on sponsoring us, which we can't thank you enough.
Yeah, you're welcome. I love it.
So you're coming with Happiest Cbd, and we have the products right here.
Yeah, man.
How did that even start?
It was actually kind of a crazy story, if we're going to be honest. I was in the automotive industry selling cars.
Yeah.
And I got to work one day and really like disingenuous. Like I just really I didn't want to be there. But I wanted to
Like
sell
every
something.
job?
Yeah.
Everybody?
Yeah. Well, like, the automotive industry, we were in there for like, 60 plus hours a week. And I just really didn't like it.
And
Like,
sometimes you wouldn't even make any money, right?
yeah, sometimes.
If you didn't
yeah.
sell, like,
So by that time I was a manager. So
okay.
So I was making a little bit, but it was still 100% commission even for the managers, right? And so we were like, I want to sell something, and we had bounced a few ideas off. Like we had been on Alibaba, we'd been on Oberlo and Shopify and all these things, and we were like, what do we sell? And then my buddy, he's like, why don't we sell CBD? And like the light clicked, and I was like, absolutely. So we found a wholesale supplier local in Utah, a grower,
Nice
processor local here in Sandy, and then white labeled it, rolled. So it's our product, it's our label, it's our business.
Oh, so you don't buy you're not buying from a larger company.
No, it's not an MLM. We buy
it's
wholesale.
yours,
Yeah,
right?
we wholesale the product. Yep. So
how long's that been?
So we've been about a year and a half.
Oh wow.
Been about a year and a half. Yeah.
Everything has CBD now.
I know. Well, and so the crazy thing is we got in it like right before the buzz. So we had started our company, got the website up and rolling and everything, and then like 3 months later, we're making sales, we're doing good, and then 3 months later, we're seeing billboards all over Utah. I'm like, what the? Man, we had a pretty good time.
Wow.
I had a good timing, dude.
Does that? Let me ask you this, and this is because I really don't know. Are you an active LDS member?
I am.
Did you go on a mission?
Yeah, I did.
Where'd you go?
So let me tell you, before I tell you where I went, I got to tell you where I'm from. I'm from Iowa.
Yeah.
And I served in St. George.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, man.
How many times have we talked about that? You get your mission papers and you're excited because you're going to Guam, you're going to France.
Yeah, you're going to like Russia.
And you're all, they're sending me to the motherland?
Utah. But I was on YSA campuses for a majority of my, college campuses.
Oh, okay.
For most of my mission, Dixie State, SUU.
Party like a motherfucker then, didn't you?
I got the full college experience without going to class, dude, for sure, man. It was nuts. It was absolutely bonkers.
Hotter than shit out there.
Yeah, Dixie State was not good. It was really hot, dude. On the pavement on that. Yeah, dude, it was bad.
Yeah. Is it? Do you get any kind of by your peers, I should say? Like look down or something because of what you're trying to do?
Yeah,
here?
sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, I gotta educate people quite a bit.
Even here?
Yeah. I
really?
gotta educate people quite a bit.
That's sad, isn't it?
But it's like, it's funny because I'm okay because I can handle it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of people who, and I mean, I don't know if you want to get into this too much, but there's a lot of people
we
who
have 3 hours for an episode, so go ahead and do whatever you want.
Well, there's a lot of people who start out as a member of that church and then leave, right? Because they're offended or something.
I never got offended. Just
sure.
Wasn't my spiel.
And that was my next thing. It's not their cup of tea, and they just said I had to leave. And that's totally like I grew up in a town where I was the only member in my high school, and then there were 2 of us my senior year, and that was because my sister was a freshman. You see what I'm saying? So like, you see what I'm saying? Like we had more, but those were really like the core guys, and so. Like getting around Mormons, like it was really hard moving to Utah for me because it's very different. Like in Iowa, it's very different. Like culturally, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause I have tattoos and I sell CBD.
Yeah.
So when I hear, like, to answer your question, like when I hear like members, they're like, you do CBD? Like some are okay, but some are like, what? You're selling drugs? And I'm like, I don't know what that means, man. I don't know what that means. What are you talking about?
Right.
Selling
That's
drugs?
so weird.
But I'm cool with it because I know.
I think it's at first, probably when you first got into it, it was a little bit of a blowback.
Yeah. Because you're like, what?
But I think the waves have subsided in the CBD world, and people are actually like, oh wow, hey look, maybe this might work. There's something to this.
Yeah, well now CBD is in at least five FDA approved medicines for and mostly for oh my goodness, I forgot.
Inflammation?
Some for inflammation, but seizure medication.
Oh, yeah.
It's in a few for seizures. So
It's a huge, and I have Crohn's disease. It's huge in the Crohn's community. Everybody at a CBD, and I did it for a little while. His brother-in-law ran some CBD, and I did it for a little bit, but I heard horror stories about that drug test.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, well, you can still fail a drug test, and
it really depends.
Yeah, and a guy that was like, well, I don't know. I turned the bottle over. It says THC free on the front, but on the back it says 0.3. So I'm like, well, if you're taking that every day, all the time, is it not going to build up?
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't know if it builds up.
Really?
I don't know if it builds up. Like I take it every day and drug tested in a car dealership and in a couple other places, and I was fine. But I don't know, man. Like, but here's the thing. Like with CBD, and I've said this before, like it's so unregulated that it's almost too regulated, right?
Wild, wild west.
It is very much like when we first started, we couldn't advertise on Facebook, on Instagram, Google. You couldn't even advertise on Reddit.
Oh no
You
shit!
couldn't advertise on Reddit.
Wow.
That's bonkers, man.
I think you can buy children on Reddit if I'm being honest.
Or like, Twitter too, right, dude?
Yeah, Twitter to come trained.
Yeah,
Potty
dude.
train and shit.
So, but it's merchant accounts were ridiculous to get, all that good stuff, dude. It's crazy.
I never really gotten into it like at all, even when my brother-in-law was selling it. But you know, you're coming with your product and saying this one is work safe. Is that what?
Yeah. So that's one of our big claims. Is like it's work safe guarantee. We made sure like we had it third party tested. With certificates of analysis.
So what's the difference though? Like having a product from someone that says no THC, but then it's like, oh yeah, but it's got some.
So there's always.
Can they get in trouble for that? Or?
So yes, yes and no.
Sounds like I'm about to sue my brother.
Yes and no.
He doesn't do it anymore.
There's
about drug test, there's a variance.
Yeah.
Because everybody has THC in them. I think there's a variance where you're a user or it's just abnormal level. And so I think that's kind of where it falls.
Yeah, and like with these products, like there can be, like Six Sigma. Have you ever heard of Six Sigma? So it's like
sounds like a badass band name.
Right.
A band name?
Yeah, band name. Six Sigma.
Yeah. So Six Sigma is what
That's what you're getting your penis, right? When you
when you don't clean the cheese, you get Six Sigma. It's Six Sigma with a count of Fermunda.
Sorry, Dalton. That's what you chose to be here.
Anyway,
dude,
proceed.
That's fine. How do you bounce back from that, man? I'm not sure. But there's a thing called Six Sigma, and it's like a variance for how many times you can mess up on a product, right? So like airplanes have a very low Six Sigma, a very low number for that, right? Because if their number was like the number in like CBD, right, then you'd have planes crashing too often, right? Or like construction, right? You're allowed to have some mess up, like some little bit of, because it just happens, right? And so with CBD, it's the same thing. Like we're supposed to be 0.3, but you have plus or minus 1%.
Okay.
So, yeah, so the certificate of analysis could come back and say 0.3, but they have a threshold, right? They have a variance. They can be plus or minus 1, right? On that scale. So it just depends, right? And so, yeah, there's always a risk, but we try to lower that as much as you can.
Nice.
So what is Dalton Jensen looking forward for marijuana being legal?
Yeah.
Really?
100%. I'm totally I'm an advocate.
You're going to
bro.
get kicked out of the church then.
That's all right.
That's all right, is it?
So when the whole thing in Utah, was it last year that we were doing this whole, was it not 2020, sorry, 2019?
It was the vote into, the 2019, but it came into effect in 2019. So it's been
so it's been a couple years, but that first year, the church publicly, the LDS church publicly came out and said medical marijuana was fine. And I personally think that like, everything, like I thought Oregon did it right. I thought decriminalization of everything was great because I think when you start, like, not only do you need to stop the war on drugs, but you need to stop the war for drugs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'm totally ready for it. And if you're already in CBD, you already got some connections. Let's roll, dude.
Really?
I'll open up a dispensary all day,
Now
man.
we're talking the hard shit, the good dollar share,
That's
right?
yeah, that's unleaded.
So
right? That's 91 octane, bud. That's race fuel.
So would Happiest take on that, or it'll be something completely different?
It just depends. Like, so there's a lot of like, so our business model was very, so like you notice like there's no green in my logos. There's no green on my website. There's no flowers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no pictures of the plant. And that's because we kind of wanted to market to those people who wouldn't normally take it.
Right.
Because it's not, for me, like marijuana and these kind of medicinal plants are very ceremonial, right? Like you don't take them, like if you were to go down to like South America and like ayahuasca, right? And walk into one of these tribes, you couldn't get it for, you know what I mean? They wouldn't just hand it to you.
Right.
Hey, you want to have a good time? Here you go, dude.
It's part of a culture.
It's
part of
culture.
a
It's
ritual.
ceremony. It's you know what I mean? It's very sacred, right? And so for me, like that's part of what that is. And to show people that, you know, that, yeah, you can have fun with it, right? And it's good for people. And some people it's not good for, right? But to me, there's no difference. That's no different than
Alcohol.
prescription medicine or but even prescription, right? The doctor, you go in and take a prescription, the doctor will be like, we're going to try this for a couple of weeks. And if it doesn't work, come on back, figure it out. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, we'd get into it for sure.
Speaking of prescription, and I asked you this at the episode that we did with Dre, because my dad called me this past week and he was freaking out because they diagnosed him with hypertension.
Oh,
Yeah.
But to the point that his blood pressure is so high, they told him you can't drive. He's retired in his 60s. You know, although my siblings are out of the house, you know, he's like a few years divorced. They're like, you can't live by yourself.
Yeah.
So now he's literally in my grandma's house taking care of my grandma as my grandma takes care of him. And he's been in the hospital a couple of times just because he starts with panic attacks and his anxiety just builds up. And he's running marathons. And
you said he's pretty in shape.
Yeah,
he's pretty in shape, but then all of a sudden he said, dude, he was telling me this and he goes, my blood pressure has always been high all the time. But I guess it reached a point that like when he got me, it's like I had a headache so bad that he almost put me on my knees.
Damn.
And then they took him to the hospital and now with the prescription, it's just exactly what you said. They're like, well, we're gonna give you this and see if that. They're trying to figure out.
Because everybody's different.
What he's gonna be using.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat with my gut.
Yeah.
You know, I was on ibuprofen.
Yeah.
Because they don't sponsor us. That's what it's called. So I was on that forever.
Yeah.
And then it just stopped working. I asked him, well, how does it stop working? Well, you know, your body built up a tolerance to it.
Yeah.
So let's try this. So now I'm on something different. And those exact words. If it doesn't work, we'll try something different. I'm like, well, how many options do we have?
Exactly.
She's like, well, you know, there's a few, but we'll see what works.
So like, and by the way, like I have an uncle who's a doctor, and I know a lot of good doctors out there who are trying to do a lot of good things for people. But I just don't. I think that there should be more options on the menu, right? And especially like, okay, so you take a whole bottle of this CBD. If you shouldn't, but if you drank the whole bottle in one time, you might get a stomach ache. You might throw up, right? Yeah. If you take a whole bottle of Tylenol, you're gonna die.
Dunsky.
Yeah, you're never coming back. Yeah. And so that's my thing, right? Is like without the side effects, we can at least see something,
right?
You know, because if you're not, so like one of the most common things for people who like smoke weed or take CBD is if like they're prone to like anxiety. You know, it'll actually make some people paranoid, right?
Yeah.
It'll do the opposite, right? But if that's the only side effect you get, you know what you're doing, and then you stop, right? It's not very permanent,
right?
Yeah.
Some of these side effects, man, they're permanent, dude.
Oh, yeah.
You don't bounce back, and so that's what I'm advocating for. Is like, it's like just give it a shot. Like, what are you gonna do? Like throw up? Like, all right, but this one, man, you land in the hospital, bro.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll get to a point where, since this is being so beneficial for everybody, we'll get to a point where like doctors are saying maybe you should try this, or is that happening nowadays, or is that a big no-no?
So doctors is tough, right? Like they've got it would be pretty rare for a doctor to be like, you should try CBD. He might not come out and say that you should do it, just because they've got like, you know, an actual practice to protect. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know, because if a doctor tells you to do it and it messes up, then like legally he can be held responsible. Yeah. He's responsible for it. So I don't know, but I know a lot of doctors are pretty liberal. Like more and more doctors are getting pretty liberal with that now. Yeah. Like they might not outright come and say like, hey, you should try this before you do this, but they won't like.
They'll meet you in the back alley and sell you a bottle.
But they will, they won't say like, never do that ever. Some might, but it's pretty rare. You know what I'm saying? So.
And so, you think it'll marijuana be legal here?
I think it'd be a long time. I think you're gonna have to get some real like young guys in politics,
especially here in Utah.
I thought we were close.
Can you believe the day that we said we would have medical marijuana here? And I'll be
that's
frank,
good, dude.
All of my friends all have cards.
Really?
All of them have
really.
cards.
I can't get a car. I can't get a car.
And I party with all of them. Just kidding.
This guy, you know what? If I wasn't in the job I was in, and I would never risk any of that shit.
Yeah.
For that, but because I have Crohn's, that's one of the 7 illnesses on the chart.
Yeah.
They just simply, they'll mail it to me,
Yeah.
but
That's tough.
it's not educated enough right now to
Well,
where.
and that blows my mind. Like the job will be like, you can't smoke marijuana.
But here,
But
So wait, you
the
could-
Percocets,
hydrocodone,
the
you're fine.
Percocets
That's-
you're
we're
on are
fine with
fine.
that.
Wait, so you could take it?
me,
You could get a card?
oh, like tomorrow.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
on
yeah.
the list. Like,
But what? So your
AIDS,
job is stopping you?
because I still have to take UAs for. We have DOT numbers on
Yeah.
our trucks.
Yep.
I still have DOT regulated. We have to take drug tests.
But doesn't that mean But I thought you having a card means that you can.
not here in Utah.
No,
not
no,
anywhere
well,
federally.
So that's the problem, right? Is it's state is legal, right? You're not gonna get like if a cop picks you up, you got a card, you're off, right?
Yeah, as long as you're not high.
Yeah,
But they can
obviously.
pull you over for lower tabs. And you're high as fuck. You'll get a DUI. But you
Yeah, you
still
will.
got the script
Yeah.
from your doctor. Same
Yeah,
thing.
because you can't operate, but it's tough because like it's still federally illegal, so it's hard. It needs to become federally. They need to end the prohibition federally, and I think you got a shot now because
That will probably come up before we
if
get
they
recreational.
yeah,
here in
if they
Utah.
make it a priority. Well, once it becomes recreationally, if they end that, I mean that's it. You're good. That's it.
and then
I mean,
you
you're
can't
done.
afford it anymore.
Then
If I'm being honest with you.
you'll be rolling joints, huh?
Well, probably not. I
They
won't be
sell,
wrong.
you can get CBD weed.
Yeah, you can
That's
flower
just
CBD
flower that you smoke. It doesn't have no THC.
Nope,
It's
smells
just
exactly
CBD
the same though. But
yeah.
but it's CBD. Man. You're good.
You know what the hell? That's it.
Yeah, you're like the Romans, man. They would burn those hemp seeds, and you're like, dude, you're
Yep.
so close,
So close.
man.
So close.
It smells so good though.
Yeah, dude, man.
Can you get secondhand like fail a P test for just being surrounded by
I
it?
think you can.
Really?
You'd have to be around it quite a bit.
Yeah, you'd have to
'Cause
be
I
like
said,
at a
there's
Bob
that
Marley concert.
variance.
Yeah.
But
You have to go to the Up and Smoke tour to
Yeah.
get that high.
you know what?
I'd have to be with my brother Jay Boog for that.
I saw Ice Cube, and that was as close to I thought second high smoke as I could possibly fucking get.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, remember that time that
Dude,
we went
they're good,
when
man.
we went to see we were talking about this too when we went because I went with him to see Rogan and Chappelle.
yes,
You remember
yes.
the smell?
Dude.
everywhere,
And
everywhere.
that's
It's all weird.
outdoors.
Yeah,
And we were
yeah,
like,
man. Yeah, it smells like money, bro. That's money.
smells like money. Oh, dude.
I'm in
Yo,
it though.
have
I'm in
you
it to
have
win
you
it.
ever doing this podcasting thing?
Yeah.
Have you ever had a guest that you're like whose vibe you don't feel? You're like,
Yeah, for sure, dude.
Really?
See, there's been some times. Well, I'm sure you guys have had it too, where you're like, bro, this is like pulling teeth. Well, okay, maybe not.
I don't
maybe
think
not
we
because
have.
you guys interview fun people.
One that I can think of. We won't talk about it here, but I think it was the situation, the way that we had to podcast. I think you know which one I'm talking about. We've only done one of these. And it wasn't.
Oh,
it,
yeah.
it wasn't them. It was the. I'm sure they'll listen and they'll know who they are. But,
yeah.
motherfucker.
but no, because they were
They're
cool. But
going
it
there.
was the vibe. No, I'll come out and say it. We did a Zoom one,
Oh, really?
and
I've had a few good
those
Zoom ones.
those
but
guys
yeah.
were cool as shit. Awesome guys to podcast with.
Yeah.
We got hooked up with them through Brian,
Okay.
who one of the guys does a vet podcast.
We talked.
Yeah.
And-
You're
and
wearing
we-
a shirt. You got a swag
Yeah.
on, right?
Oh
You
yeah.
got a
By the way,
swag on.
shout
Yeah.
out to. We'll talk about it. Shout out to.
and
Yeah, man.
it was just we were 90 something episodes in, and then we did this Zoom one for the first time, and it was very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because
It's
of
hard.
the delay.
Yeah, Zoom's hard.
It just wasn't
And
right.
then you do
for
the thing
us.
where you're like we both talk at the same time, and then I
we
realize
all
he's
stop.
talking, they realize we're talking, and then we both
Hey,
stop.
we both stop.
And then the crickets go,
And then we go,
yeah,
and then we
yeah.
both go ahead. No, you go ahead. And then we both go like, dude, this is
Other than that, we've been
Yeah.
maybe you could say we've been picky.
How long have you guys been podcasting?
This is episode 106.
6 years.
How long though? Episode over 100?
March will be 2 years.
Yeah,
Wow,
March will be
dude,
2 years,
that's
so
sick, man.
106
That's all about
episodes.
consistency, dude. That's what's up, man.
Yeah,
That's
Justice
gnarly,
says,
dude.
We celebrate our anniversary and I'm out.
Yeah. Well, I think I had like some guests that it was like pulling teeth because I at the beginning just wanted to interview all the small business owners that I could get my hands on.
Yeah, right.
Like if they had a cool business, I was like yes. But sometimes they had really cool businesses and they were really hard to talk to. Like they had such a really cool idea. I'm like, dude, you could tell me the story, man. And they're like, yeah, this is cool. And I'm like,
Some
come
people
on,
get
bro.
so uncomfortable
Yeah,
when it comes down to it, so they freeze up, and it makes the situation.
So I've had like 30-minute interviews before.
Really?
Where I'm just like, okay, all right, you don't want to talk anymore, and I ran through most of my questions and tried.
I
And
want to look it up and call them out. I'm just kidding.
there's been some really cool ones too. So, but but and Zoom's hard, dude. Zoom is just tough.
See? You done Zoom like out of town or here still?
No. I've done Zoom. Like a lot of my podcasts are Zoom.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because some people get kind of weird about it. I try to do as much as I can.
Oh, look what you're doing in your house, huh?
Yeah. Well, some people are weird just about the COVID stuff too. Like normally
It has
they're
made it tough, hasn't it?
Yeah. A lot of people are like, no, I think we can do Zoom. And I'm like, all right, whatever.
There's I kind of want to say this.
Well, now you
I
have
told
to,
you
but
that.
whatever.
There was this because he does it in his. You do it at your house.
I do.
In your own
Yeah.
bedroom, and no, I'm just kidding.
I don't do it.
So I was talking to
In the shower.
so I was-
Get better sound out of the
come
I
bathroom.
was talking to a guest that we've had, and that person went to another podcast, and this podcaster does it at his house, in his room.
That's no, mine's in my kitchen, like very open.
And then you also said that your wife
We'll greet them. Yeah.
isn't that
She'll
cool?
help me like take the pictures and
Like give you fucking little
she'll
dinner
bring it-
fucking
yeah.
cheese and fucking pigs in a blankets and shit.
My wife's not.
What the fuck, Brian?
She'll just greet it.
I'll get you an iron or a fucking apron if you'll
Do I
fucking.
gotta bring snacks now too? Is that what's going on?
No, we'll buy him.
But yeah, dude, it's good though. It's good though, dude.
It's funny because I just don't see it. Isn't that awkward though?
In my house.
You're like,
Right.
yeah, he's had enough. I'm just kidding. I just go to pee. Isn't it awkward?
No, not really.
Would you rather have someone like this?
Yeah, where I would much
Yo,
rather have something
so
like this.
It was funny because we talked about this on the. I hate to bring it out again, but this is because that's basically where we met.
Yeah,
But,
Andres.
And we were talking about plans that that we would like to do and how to grow this thing and one of the visions that I have is to like all of us or at least as many as we can be
In the same building.
in the same building.
That'd be cool, man. That'd be dope. I think
badass.
there's something really cool about podcasting. And I mean, if you can outlast, I don't think podcasting is about the content
Yeah.
or the quality. I think it's about how long you can last. Like Joe Rogan's been doing it for like 12 years, man.
My sex life, but yeah.
For sure, dude. Hey, let me ask you this.
And
Where
it's not very long.
Like, what do you mean you didn't finish? We started at the same time. but no,
awesome,
I
man.
just think it's cool because I can feel it. Like for example, we started at Justin's house,
Okay.
and he was fine and dandy for what we were doing, which was him and I. You know what I mean? But then we were also like, well, we would love to have guests,
Yeah.
and I know I wouldn't feel like I would be weirded out if I have a guest and I do the podcast in my house and then that person is like, hey, can I use your bathroom or whatever? And I'm like, yeah. And like, especially if the bathroom is like right there when you're recording, then it's like, this mic's pick up everything, right? And like, but
awesome,
other
man.
than that, it's like, you hot, dude?
Hotter than half fuck fox and forest fire.
Oh, dude, you're running all cylinders, huh? But yeah, but like this is why we decided to come here, and like one of the things that we always thought about is like how cool would it be to be in one building.
That'd be
It's
sweet,
like,
bro.
It's just like the thing
That'd
that
be
we've always
sick.
said. And I was talking about it on that podcast, like when people just jump from podcast to podcast, like friends and stuff like that. Just trying what we're trying to build.
Yeah,
what
we're just trying to
over
build it.
here.
Yeah.
Like if we were all together and I walk by and I hear you are bullshitting with Dre, I could just be like, "Yo," and like crash the party for 5 minutes and then just walk out.
And then and then we'd have fun, dude.
Bro.
Bro.
Then you give the impression of like those guys are
tight. They're all tight,
cool
and
friends, yeah.
it's a good group, man. And that's what I think the community. I think when you build a community, that's what people flock to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's like something's being promoted. They could hit everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody's pod.
And you can just
So that's what I'm doing with my. That's what I'm doing with Happiest, man.
That's right. How many? Can you tell us how many podcasts are you?
Am I sponsoring?
Yeah.
I'm sponsored about 6 right now.
6.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, and I did that on purpose.
Yeah.
Because it's just, I mean, like, the more you hear it, right? Like, people need to hear it more than once. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And screw Facebook.
Yeah.
I'd rather give my money to, like, dude, you can spend $100. I mean, it's very easy to spend $100 on ads on Facebook and get nothing.
Really?
Nothing.
We've
Especially with
we've thought about promoting or boosting the page, and every once in a while, I think Brian did it for us one time.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a waste of money, but it's really hard to track ROI on Facebook,
we reached
man.
500 people on Facebook.
Oh, we did, didn't we?
There you go, bro.
I think doing it in what we call the pod community.
Yeah.
You know, I see you with the 27th hour.
Yep. I'll be on their show next week.
Nice.
Oh, nice. See?
Yeah, I'm just going because I was
That's what's all
sponsoring them
about.
too.
Yeah.
They were like, we need our
they
first.
made this.
Yeah, that's
Boner.
dope.
Junior's been my tattoo artist. I mean, me and Junior went to school together.
Yeah.
You know, but to do it within this community, and then we have listeners that listen to everybody.
Yeah.
And they're hearing the same thing from
Well, yeah.
everybody. Then you've got that whole collective group of, say we get, we're blowing smoke. Say we get 250 listens on an episode. Junior does, you know, 200 or 300. You know what I mean? It's what a great way to spread the word.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and that's the thing. And then you're supporting, and then there's something about supporting local, right? Like that I really, really, really like. Like that's 100% what I love the most. And you know, everybody's got to buy stuff on Amazon, and you got to go to Walmart every now and then. And unfortunately, there's no small business that manufactures a decent phone.
Yeah.
but
Right.
I try as much as I can. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we see this pop community grow like day by day, and
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
sick,
awesome.
dude.
Like
It's legit.
Like, you know, shout out to we're gonna talk about this. Shout out to Brian Hellbach. You know, Sarge Hellbach. He was here last week to promote his event, and by the way, they did it. They
Dude, I saw some people. I saw some bikers riding up that way. I was like,
they
that's the
blew
shit.
their goal out of the water. They surpassed it, which is
and they got some service dogs,
It
right?
was not even. I mean, we were sure, you know, talking to Brian, they were going to get it. What it did, and Angel was there.
Yeah.
The feeling of us meeting there, everybody for the same cause, and just, I mean,
It's very special.
When I left, there was a wait, and people couldn't get in.
yeah.
And unfortunately,
That's a beautiful thing.
But on the same token, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good problem to have. You want to have more good problems in your life.
And it,
3 dogs. Well, he's looking at 5.
Yeah, I thought I saw his.
that's what I'm
I saw his
How
post. It
great
was like
is
over.
that?
It was after he hadn't finished counting the last post I saw, but yeah, there were like 5 or 6 service dogs, dude. That's great,
And
bro.
Utah.
Shout out to those guys, too.
shout out to those guys for hosting the event. Outstanding beer.
yeah.
The wings were outstanding.
I gotta
That's
get
all
some of their
had there.
wings, man.
Not only did they say when they started it, 15% of all sales will go.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they gave him 100%.
Really?
From 4 to 6.
Oh,
yeah, they gave
dude.
him everything. How cool is that?
That's cool, man.
How cool is that?
That's what it's
was-
what it's about, dude.
Also,
that's what it's about.
what blows my mind too is going back to the pop community is that we have interviewed a couple people from different sides of different sides when it comes to their subjects on their podcast.
Yeah.
Hellbach, it's all about veterans. You know, he's not open to us.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
well, he had us just because it was a special thing. Because he, you know,
Yeah, you guys are cool.
He's been, yeah, but he's been here to saying, you know, I started it because of, you know, you guys helped me start it. You know,
Yeah, good.
You guys made me realize this is something I could do for people. So. But also we have people like the Salty Sex Cast, which is these 2 ladies that we had. And
I heard about that. Didn't Dre talked about those guys? I think
Those gals.
gals. Sorry, yes, gals.
They were in 27th Hour podcast too.
Oh, that's right.
But,
yes.
But what I'm saying is like them talking about multiple lovers, relationships, and sex, and Brian being all about veterans, they were like, we'll do our part to not only donate, but we're gonna donate this. I think it's called the Oculus,
Yeah,
which
the
is what you
VR
brought me.
Oculus.
Whoa, that's
it
cool,
was like
man.
it was a few $100.
Yeah, those are like
brand new
$500.
piece.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and they were at the place, like Mariah, shout out to Mariah, and her husband were there, and that's when you go, dude, these two podcasts, there's nothing
Similar, yeah.
you know, there's
Except-
This
Yeah,
shouldn't be
except-
right now.
yeah,
but it
except-
is, right?
Except the one thing. Go ahead.
The other side of the beehive.
No, I was gonna say, like I'm, I've studied all religions, but the one thing I love about this, right? How do you find these commonalities? And it's the love that binds us together. bro.
Scientology. Yeah, that's what I've been trying to tell them.
How much money you got?
That's right, dude. That's for real though. Those guys scare
But
me.
yeah, I mean, but just seeing it yesterday, and
Yeah,
she actually
man.
got a hold of me when I was out of town. She's like, give Brian my number and see if he'll be interested of maybe us doing something for the event and everything. I mean, and it's just awesome. And now,
Yeah, man.
And now seeing you saying, oh, I want to do the 27th podcast next week or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this is
Yeah.
exactly what we were talking about.
Yeah, and funny enough, I reached out to the 27th Hour podcast. I like their stuff. I like his tattoo shop.
You wait till you get there.
Yeah, is it gonna be cool?
It does not
I'm
do
excited.
justice.
You will feel less than a man when you go.
It is.
I'm serious.
That's cool, dude.
That
I'm about
place
it.
is a museum.
That's
I
cool,
cannot
man.
say enough good shit about Junior and what he does.
Yeah, man.
I mean, he'll always
Yeah.
be my homeboy, but that dude will make you feel this fucking big
Yeah.
with how fucking driven he is. You
Yeah.
wait till you walk in that
All right,
place.
dude. I'm excited. But the day that I asked him if I could sponsor his podcast was the day that they were trying to get their first one.
Yeah.
And I bought the biggest one. I bought their top tier package,
Oh, that's
and
right.
I was
That's
like,
right.
let's
Yeah,
roll,
they're
man.
selling packages. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. They're selling packages, and I was like, let's roll. I'll do it because it's
That's
like
what it's all about.
because and there's something about when a podcast gets a sponsor. At their first one, like they can use that to get more sponsors, right?
Yeah.
Like we sponsored so and so, like as you know what I'm saying, and that just gives you some confidence. And if there's one thing I'm about like building people's confidence, like because if you're confident, man, you can do anything.
Yeah.
If you got, you know what I mean. If you got that,
And you know, it's also cool that a person like yourself, with a company can say, I'm going to take a risk on these guys.
Yeah.
And it also helps us to be more legit.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not just a couple guys that get together. Shit. We're like,
No,
now
we
we
got
have
a spot-
people
yeah.
that are backing us.
Yeah, exactly.
To basically.
and I would much rather.
And it's also another awesome thing that when we were talking to you over text, we mentioned we don't want to change any content.
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah, I would never ask you to change anything. And
No,
that was
yeah.
like with him and I, because obviously we were talking to you, and then him and I
Talking back and
were
forth.
Talking back and forth, yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
well,
yeah.
I'm about to tell him this, so and then we were like, well, that turned out good, and it's just so
Yeah,
thank
yeah,
you,
dude.
you know,
Oh, yeah,
because-
absolutely. Well, I wouldn't. I mean, that's why because it was funny that you said that because I had a few other podcasts tell me the same thing. They're like,
Yeah.
well, I'm not gonna. If you're gonna sponsor it, I'm just gonna still do my same thing. I'm
Yeah.
like, homie,
Yeah.
Right.
duh. Because I tell people the same thing. Like when you come on my podcast, I don't edit. One of the biggest reasons I don't edit anything is because I don't censor people, and I just let you get this right. And
They
if we mess
swear
up,
in your house.
yeah. That's all right. I'm just what I don't judge people.
Did you meet your wife here?
No, she's
you
from
knew
the
her
Midwest,
in Ohio, right?
Iowa.
Whatever.
Yeah, same thing.
Same place. It's like, they're like right next to each other. Aren't they?
Buckeyes, Hawkeyes, whatever.
Idaho.
Urban Meyer, right?
Yeah. That's right.
You can kill him whenever you want.
I get that all the time. They're like,
You're into jujitsu, right?
I am, dude.
That's my jujitsu
yeah,
buddy
buddy.
right here.
Let's go.
So
I like it.
when we're done, we're gonna move this table. Then we're
table.
gonna have you guys roll
I
and
don't
shit.
fight. I don't fight. I just do.
I don't fight either. But when you came in here, I saw this collar. I'll choke that motherfucker out.
That's right. I got it.
The first person,
Shake 'em.
anybody
Shake
that's got a
'em.
hoodie or a collar, I'm like, you better watch
can
your
do
shit,
that.
'cause I'll
You
get
can do that. Where do you train? Where do you train?
You know what? It's been so long. I trained when Remember Jeremy Horn had Elite
yes.
downtown.
Oh,
We're talking
okay. Yeah, doesn't Jeremy Horn? He's got it up in.
Yeah, it's
Murray
used
or
to be
something
like
like
down Night South, way back in the day.
But
when
that's
it was
like he's like that's where like the UFC
Gumby.
is
still here, right?
That's Gumby, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's
That's a
been.
good gym.
I mean, we're talking. It's probably been 10, 12 years since I've walked into.
Since
a
you
gym.
rolled?
Oh yeah.
You need to get back in there, bro. You need to roll some more.
You know, I want to, and I have kids, and I want to get them involved into it because
I got my daughter
so
involved.
believe in what jiu-jitsu teaches, just the confidence that
Yeah.
it builds.
Yeah,
in
I got my
people,
daughter
and
in.
it's,
I got my daughter in it.
How old is she?
5.
Oh, you got a 5-year-old too, huh? I have
Yeah.
I have 2 daughters, a 5-year-old and a 9.
Does your daughter
That's
smoke
cool.
like his?
Was my I don't know. No, dude, yes. And listen, I posted this on my Facebook group. Like I have a group for the podcast, and because this is something I truly believe in, and I always say this. I'm like, there's something very sacred
Yep.
about getting your ass kicked.
Yep.
About just getting your ass
Not
kicked.
even your ass kicked to the point where you get in a spot and you go, "Oh no."
Yeah, you're like,
And you're not getting your ass kicked. There's nothing I can do.
You got a guy who's smaller than you, because I'm like a pretty big guy. You got a guy who's smaller than you, who's not as quick as you, not as strong as you, and he's like, I'm gonna take you down. I'm gonna get you in a full mount. I'm gonna take your arm and I'm gonna snap it off. And then he goes, and there's nothing you can do about it. And then he does it. And you're like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
But it's very sacred. Because
Very,
it's like,
very humbling.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
very. There's it's a lot of people think about when I talk about it. Oh, you do jiu-jitsu. Oh, UFC or whatever.
Yeah, no, I
it's
don't-
not. Has nothing to do with that.
I don't punch people. I can't.
Has nothing to do with that. So people think, well, I don't want to go there and get my ass beat. It's
No.
now you can do some abuse.
Yeah, you can get hurt.
Those guys that go at it.
Yeah.
But there's something about walking into a jiu-jitsu gym and being humbled with,
Yeah.
what do they call it? The gentle art.
Yeah, dude.
There's something about being humbled when somebody's being gentle.
Yeah, the nicest dudes. And by the way, if I walked into a gym, and I don't know how you feel about this, but if I walked into a gym brand new and I didn't know anybody, I would rather roll with a black belt than a white belt all day, because I know the black belt's not going to hurt me. He'll kick my ass, but he won't hurt me. Because like, why? Because like when you get to that level, like they don't need to.
Yeah.
There's no talking.
They're just
There's-
playing with their food.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? There's no
they've
talking. There's no boasting. It's just like, you want to roll? If not, no worries, bro. And
They've
if you
been
do,
so
cool, man.
dedicated to the sport at that point. If you can,
You can get a
I
black
hear,
belt.
oh, I'm a black. There's not a lot of black.
Yo, how
belts
long
out
does
there.
how long does it
Yeah.
take to on average
You know what? I was just
to get to black?
Dean Lister. I don't know if you know who Dean
Yeah,
Lister
yeah,
is.
yeah.
12 years
10 to 12 years, yeah.
before he gets a black belt.
Really?
10
know,
to 12
it's-
years. If you see a
it's,
black belt, it's 10, 12, 13 years.
Now,
Ri-
it's
consistently.
Richie Martinez, 10 years with Eddie Bravo.
Which is tough. Eddie Bravo guys are tough, man. Those guys are tough.
10th planet. Let's
Yeah,
put
dude,
it
you're
real.
right.
But how
Yeah.
does this work? Is it like I don't know anything about that. Is it kind of like like karate when you're a kid? You go to your tournament and then you move on to the next one, or
nothing like that.
It's time. It's only
Yeah.
time, right?
Really?
It's you could go out and win 50 tournaments, and if you haven't put the time in,
Yeah, it's time before
you might get
everything
a,
else.
you might get a stripe. But there's
Yeah.
a lot of badass blue belts, purple belts out there. You're a blue belt?
Blue.
Oh
yeah.
no shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
blue.
so you might be able to beat my ass then.
what are the?
White, blue, purple, brown, black.
Oh, he's just number 2, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
But
only
that's
been really
dedication
limited.
to get a blue belt.
Really?
It took 2 years.
Remember,
man, 2 years.
Billy?
Skydiver.
No, boring Billy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He told me,
The
he was
shorty?
just like, yeah, that was one guy that always pushed me about, because his kids, I mean, he was legit.
Really?
He told me, he's like, you get your blue belt, we're going out to celebrate. It never happened. I moved on from the company since then.
Yeah, but dude, I love it, dude, and it's about time, and it's strictly time. Like, you know, every 6 months, you know, you get your stripe. 4 6 months, you get a stripe, and then 2 years. But then like, so white to blue is probably the quickest, one of the quickest, because blue to purple is like closer to like 3 or 4 years, and then purple to brown is pretty quick. That's probably about 2 years, and then brown to black is another 4 or 5.
Oh, wow.
3 or 4 years.
Then there's
before.
the coral guys.
Yeah, and then
The legendary coral guys. But we won't get into that.
I think those red and white belts. I think you have to be a Grace and OG. Well,
if you're a bar
10th stripe, like that red white. I don't know what they call it. But if you want to, you could, like you or I can only get 9. 10 has to be like blood Gracie.
Yeah.
Guys, the original founders of jiu-jitsu.
Is it
Those
like
guys were the shit, though. You ever see UFC 1 when it was Hoist Gracie running up on the, those guys?
this guy's
Hoist Gracie was...
Now we're talking fucking...
Hey, that's right. Let's go. Dude, those guys were...
I'm a
those guys
child
were
at
sick.
heart, as you can tell. Like, I got Ninja Turtles, and he's got
That's great,
wrestling and then issues.
Yeah, I
But
like the
I-
Hindu stuff, too.
I've said it before. I get into it so much because it's mano a mano.
Mm-hmm.
I dig the team sports. Like, I love watching the Jazz, but there's something about mano a mano. You
Yeah.
can't blame anybody but yourself.
Yep.
And your preparation through it, to the build up, to the actual fight, to the end of it.
Yeah.
So
mhm. I wrestled for 14
love that
years,
shit.
too, man.
Really?
Wrestling's the same way.
Yeah, I wrestled
You know what I mean?
forever. It was great.
You're a
bad
pretty damn good
motherfucker,
then,
ain't
huh?
I wrestled for a long time. I taught wrestling, too, like coached it for a while at
Oh
some of these
shit!
gyms.
So where do you go to?
That's what I was
Where are you
gonna
going to
The,
jiu-jitsu?
the front.
Oh, okay, yeah.
train
I know
under-
where that's at.
Yeah, so Chris Wells is a black belt that we train under Chris Wells.
Where is that?
So they have 3, but there's one in Salt Lake, one right in Murray, 4500 South.
Is that the one you go to?
Yeah. So it's kind of weird. It's like this, like you'd never think that this climbing gym would have this like elite jiu-jitsu gym, but they've got a 3-stripe black belt instructor under Pedro Sauer. They got a few purple belts under there who just gnarly. So it's cool, man. It's a lot of fun.
Every time we talk about it, I'm like, I want to get into it.
You
But
should
then I'm
do
like,
it.
but I
Super
need
low
to.
impact, dude. It's low impact. And like, dude, listen.
No.
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
MMA for a year, I think. But and I know like I've done like I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's cool,
Obviously,
man.
I haven't done
like-
anything if you just count 1 year, but I'm saying like I
cool,
kind
dude.
of I would rather do that than go to the gym.
Me too. So that was the thing. Like I played football a lot, had college scholarships and all that stuff. And I hated going to the gym.
See, I started going to the gym because I
dude, it's
didn't
just-
have anybody to go with.
But I was like, dude, that was the thing. I was like, first of all, I don't really care. Like my whole thing growing up was like, a 6-pack never saved you from an ass beating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't care about your 12-inch biceps, bro.
I
I'm
tell
gonna
you, those weightlifters.
I'm gonna beat the shit out of you
I'll
and have
choke
fun
your
doing
ass
it. Yeah,
out. It's
I'll beat the
not
shit.
even a
yeah.
fucking question.
Well,
Not
dude,
even
when
a
you go
question.
into a gym, like when you go into Vasa,
They
and you
all
see
look like
someone-
me. They all look like me. Not,
Well,
not the gym guys,
yeah.
but the jujitsu guys. They all look
But listen,
skinny.
let me tell you something. I learned a huge lesson growing up from wrestling and jiu-jitsu, and that was never to judge somebody on how they look. Because you could see, like, dude, we had to, I'll tell you this one time. And this was when, we were wrestling. We had the number 2 guy in the state, and we were going up against this kid we'd never seen. We were at this, the Southern Iowa Classic wrestling meet. We had
Iowa
to-
wrestling, man.
We had fun,
Iowa
dude.
fucking wrestling.
and by the way, they have 2-day tournaments here. It was 1-day tournaments in Iowa. Where you weighed in at 6 in the morning. You had 6 o'clock finals. You wrestled all day
Wow.
long. 5 matches. So anyway, we get this guy. And we're like, oh, our guy's gonna crush this guy. He's going to crush him. Absolutely annihilate him. It's not even... Because you see this kid walk out. He's really lanky. He's not
You
that
don't know the
big.
drink?
No, I'm good, man. Thank you. But he's real lanky. He's not that big. And so we're like, we got this in the bag, right? Cut the check. And this guy puts him on his back in the first minute of this tournament. And we're like, holy shit, dude. This is real.
Wow.
And like, you just never like... Because you'd see like... And it was really cool like in the heavyweight... weight class, because you'd see some of these beefcakes, right? Just these, they got 12-inch
Shout out to
biceps.
Mariah's husband.
Yeah, but you see some of these guys, they're just big. They're just big, and then you see this kind of guy. He walks out, obviously he doesn't have any definition. He's bigger, right? He kind of looks like a roly-poly, and you're like, oh man, you got a all-state linebacker up
Right.
against this roly-poly
Right.
guy. This isn't even a thing. And he just pancakes him. And I'm like, what in the world is happening right
Just
now?
technique is so much fucking
Dude.
better
And
than...
and he's got more heart, and it's not. And listen, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you step on the line. We're going. And that's it, bro. It's just me and you.
That's the beauty part about
just
jujitsu.
me and you, dude.
It's a technique over strength every time.
Yeah, bro.
Every time.
Yeah. You'll wear somebody out. And so that was one of the big reasons why. I just don't judge people because you just never know, dude. You never know. And that's the scary part. Is the quiet guy.
It's like every now and then you get a video of a guy that is being obnoxious, like at a bar or something, and then it starts, starting problems, and then some guy's like, "Come here, dude," and like turn him into a pretzel.
talking shit to a dude like Kenny Florian or Ryan Hall, any one of those fucking guys. It's just like, what?
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
Like I will love to be able to do that. It's like, hey, come here,
Yeah,
dude.
man. Yeah, man.
Number one jiu-jitsu guy right now.
Who's the number one?
Who do you think?
Gordon Ryan.
Oh,
Probably.
my man, Gordon Ryan.
Gordon
Gary
Ryan,
Tonin.
he's a beast,
Gary
dude.
Tonin,
Yeah,
other than
he's good
kind
too,
of
dude.
on the MMA scene right now, but
Yeah,
Gordon
they're
Ryan,
good,
what's his
dude.
little brother?
I don't know.
Is it Jimmy Ryan?
Yeah,
or-
I kind of follow them pretty, but I've seen Gordon Ryan do some gnarly stuff. But I remember when I think Gordon Ryan and Bo Nickel,
Yeah.
they did that, right? And Bo Nickel's like one of the best wrestlers right now in his weight class. And when Bo Nickel, and he went into a jiu-jitsu with Gordon Ryan, and obviously was like for fun, because Gordon Ryan's like this freaking
god,
elite.
a phenom.
Yeah, and Bo Nickel Bo Nickel suplexed him. That was cool too, dude. That was great. That would have ended the match. But anyway,
Part of the Danaher death squad
but
right
who
there.
else did Gordon Ryan get into a freestyle match with? He got in it with one of the big guy.
What's the big, tall, lengthy fucker?
He has like he's got like kind of got cornrows. White guy, really good at wrestling, and I think he just mowed over that. When jiu-jitsu and wrestling mix, it's not fair. It's two different sports.
Yeah.
I have no
Just
idea
way
what's
different.
going on with
Yeah,
the
this
podcast.
is the time you can
the
go
last
to
5 minutes. Yeah,
Hey, you know what?
Anyway,
Because finally we're talking something about I'm interested, for God's sake. But
I'm-
106 episodes, thank you very much. Sorry for boring
you guys want me? No, I'm just.
Hey, are you a rapper? Sorry. You're on a radio station
No,
or
I'm
anything
just
like
saying.
that?
No, I just-
Right.
I wish I knew, but you guys are
He's
throwing
all
these names.
checked out.
Like, whoa. No, but that's the cool thing. I can talk about anything. We could talk about whatever you want.
No, it's just. No,
Hey.
it's fine.
What'd you think about the Exodus group? What'd you think about Matt and Becca? Do you like that? You like that?
What do I think about them?
Or yeah, what'd you
Turn
think
the
about the
camera
group?
off.
All right, what'd you think about the group though? The Exodus group. Did they talk about that? Did
I
they bring that
actually
up?
haven't gotten. They didn't talk about it here. Well, she talked about her being a part of it.
Yeah. Well, Matt's their. I think their liaison.
I
their
haven't.
PR guy.
I haven't really gotten into. I know what it is. I
Yeah.
just don't know
I'm
the details.
Completely lost.
Oh, what? So I heard some of the Matt and Becca podcast, but I'm surprised they didn't bring it up more. So Exodus is anti-human trafficking. They're like
Yeah.
they're like a local
Oh,
nonprofit.
okay. Yeah, now I know where you're going.
Anti-human
I thought you were
trafficking.
talking about the death metal Exodus. Like, yeah, those guys were badass. Remember that?
I thought you were talking about.
Hey,
I thought you were talking
pull up
about.
some Exodus there, bud.
I thought you were talking about the Bible.
Oh, jeez.
I think that's after Genesis,
No,
right?
Yeah, good job.
It is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
We went to church. You didn't. Yo, my grandma's a pastor.
Oh, really?
Back home, yeah.
That's cool.
That's why it's like
Right
when I
on,
go
dude.
home, my earrings come off.
Angel, it's a different book. It's a different book. It's a different book he read. than-
No, Exodus is the
Exodus.
Bible.
Exodus
Yeah,
is the
Exodus is the
Bible.
Bible.
Not
They
the
have
book of
ano- they have
One
another
exit.
book.
Don't confuse
That's
it.
great,
you're-
dude.
Come on,
Now
man.
we're all right. That's it.
I was born and raised in Syracuse. I know my books. I might not follow them, but I know the books.
That's right. What is that? It's all arbitrary anyway.
It is, isn't it?
So you did you go to that event? Is that what you said?
Yeah. We went to their gala, their 2020 gala, and I interviewed Candace Laird, their co-founder. The founder of
So
Exodus.
what exactly? I mean, I know what they're about, but like, what? How do they grow?
Their main thing is what happens. So you got a lot of people who, right? We hear about it all the time. Like there was a big human trafficking bust, right?
Right.
We rescued people. Well, the problem is when you rescue somebody, what happens after that?
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's very hard, right? Once this happens to you for quite a long
It's just
time.
like military and PTSD.
Yeah,
Same
yeah,
thing,
exactly.
You know,
I mean,
what do we
I
do
mean-
after the fact?
right? Because
Okay, see
because
that
you think-
starts making sense. Now.
yeah, because how do we house them? How do we educate them? How do we get them jobs? How do we get them stable? How do we get them therapy? Right? Don't get me started on the mental health crisis in America,
Well,
dude.
I mean,
freaking
we want to talk about
bugs the-
pharmaceuticals
bugs
and the
the
fucking
shit
mental
out of
health
me.
fucking.
bugs the shit out of me. But anyway, so their whole Exodus whole focus is getting these people these survivors when they're rescued and rehabilitating, essentially getting them back into the swing of things, right? Getting them back into routines, getting them housing, getting them, stuff to live with. When these guys come out, they don't have anything, right? They don't have. They might not even have family, right? So it's just tough. So they focus on that.
So what's Becca and Matt? Are they part of the
community
or are they part of the...
Yeah. So Matt is their like liaison there. He's their PR guy.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think Becca is an ambassador. She might be an ambassador. I don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. But yeah, dude, I liked listening to them, but I thought they would have brought it up more because that's a really cool. They're really fun.
Yeah.
And I interviewed Matt.
Yeah, you told me that
on my podcast too. Yeah,
nice.
he's a coach. He's a health coach.
Around? This little community.
Yeah, Matt's really cool. He's like he's a coach and help like an actor as well, model. But he also helps like people, men.
I saw his story today. He was going to an audition or something.
Yeah.
And I was gonna text him, hey, what can I do to get one of these auditions? Yeah. I was almost an actor.
He's all cut your hair.
I was almost remember that story?
Hippie? Oh yeah, that's right.
I was almost an actor, and then some dumb bitch ruined it all for me.
I told you I tried to be on. Do you remember Touched by an Angel?
No.
Do you remember that show? Touched by an Angel? Not this angel.
It was a local TV. Like
it was filmed here in Utah. Yeah.
Oh wow! No,
and they were having a scene at it was like a bar they mocked up, and I tried to get on it, and they told me all you have to do is hold your hand on the beer bottle and cover the logo and sit in the background. They paid me $100, and then they never showed it. I never saw it. Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible. Yeah. I mean, the check doesn't bounce, bro. Let's do it again, man.
Am I on that fucking? What are the actors on the Actor Guild? Fucking. What is that?
Actor Guild?
Yeah. Am I part of that now? No, bud.
Give me out another one.
You weren't even in the credits, asshole.
I think you have to pay something to get on the SAG. So.
You probably do. That's a racket, bro.
Hey, we're talking SAG. You're talking the king right here. For God's sakes.
SAG. I got SAG. Yo, my story, I'm just going to shorten it up. I went to the library here in downtown. I always go like this, but I don't know where it is.
Whatever. Yeah, I don't know where it's at, dude.
And I got this audition, and I walked by all the characters, and I just grabbed this paper, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, I'll just do this. And I went in the room, and it was like 3 people. One of them was the director, and then the other one was the person that was talking to me as the other character that I'm reading. Right? Just talking to me. And so I was reading, and it was like, oh yeah. But I was talking to him. I gave him my all. Like I did. Like for all I know, I'm never gonna do this again. So I like overdid it to the point like I walked out, and then he called me. Well, he actually said before I walked out, he said, "You ever done this before?" And I'm like, "No." And he goes, "Okay." I said, "Well, if you get it, we'll let you know." And I said, "All right, cool." Went home a couple days after. He called me and he goes, "Well, you got the part." I'm like, "Oh, sweet." And then I'm like, I was trying to see if I go for that one or the bad guy because I got long hair and shit. And he said, "No, this one's good for you. This one is the main character of the movie."
Oh, sweet.
Like, oh, cool. Yeah. Long story short, went up the mountain, up the canyon, somewhere around Parley's or whatever, and they were filming the other 2 kids. They were mains too, and they were running through the woods, and then they will hear like a twig crack, and then they will keep running, but like every now and then they will have to stop and then kiss. And it's gonna be okay, and then they will kiss, and they will keep running, but they have to do it over and over again. The girl, when we had a break, the girl ended up calling her bishop and say, I'm kissing this guy over and over and over again because I want to do this movie. And so the bishop go, "Do not do that. You need to get out of there." When I came back, being the guy that saves the fucking movie, I come back to this.
I'll kiss that guy.
I came back to the set. I came back to the set, and everybody's just talking, ready to go up the road again. And they were like, "Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do. It's just because this girl just quit." And so she quit right there. Yeah, and so she ruined my dude.
Is that really what happened? She called her bishop.
You know what? You know what I think though. The bishop probably said, "How much they paying you that?" And she's like, "Well, we're making $3,000." In the background, he's hitting 10% of $3,000 each day. It's like, "No, you should just keep going. You're gonna be good. Fine."
Yeah, dude. But then I'm like, Oh, dude, you should ruin it for us. For me.
Yeah. That's terrible, man. I've heard a lot of stories like that, though, dude. Yeah, man, that's terrible.
I would have made this podcast so successful.
We probably would have never started this podcast there, bud.
And
a good
The way
Yeah.
everybody's acting
You know what?
because of COVID.
It's a good,
started one.
I was gonna say it's a good thing Hollywood said no Angel today.
No bueno.
We have better plans for you there, bud.
Oh, jeez, dude.
No gusto. That's what
It's no muy bien. It's no good.
it's not very good.
The cicada and everything.
Oh, dude.
That's great, man.
Sorry, I just swore on my beer. Dude, big news today here in the state of Utah. Utah becomes the
Constitutional carry.
17th state to be a constitutional carry state.
Hell yeah.
March,
that's right.
May 5th, you can carry a gun if you were 21 years of age and you can legally have a gun
Yep.
concealed.
Boom.
You carry?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think everybody should, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
You should have that girl.
We carry. Yeah, we should, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a gal that follows us on the podcast who was a.
But you still have to do training? You still have to
not
go?
anymore.
You don't have to.
No, it's
take-
constitutional carry, bro. Let's roll.
If you can buy a gun, you can carry.
You can carry
concealed.
it, which is
Really?
exactly how it should be. 100%.
Now,
yeah.
let me ask you this, and I'm ignorant about it because I never owned a gun.
Yeah. Let's
I
roll.
was coming to the. You're like, hey, maybe I would like to, take the class or whatever, and do. I would love to do what Rogan does, but they were just shooting at like
Ting, ting,
this
ting. Yeah.
tactical training.
Yeah,
whatever.
those-
I
yeah,
would love
that's
to
the-
do that.
yeah.
There's no one here, but anyway. Now,
There's plenty of them here.
Oh yeah, there's
a ton of them
I was
here.
gonna say.
Oh yeah.
She's not looking at the right place.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
dude. I'll
Fuck yeah.
make one. I got one number on my phone. Make one phone call and you can do
oh,
it.
dude. By the way,
I know a guy that you
yeah, you probably did the
work
same thing.
with that does that shit.
so my
We'll talk after.
Yeah.
my boss actually, he's licensed to do the class,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Okay, good.
Same guy I'm talking about.
but now
Yeah.
that we don't need the class, isn't that it's good for us, for example, but isn't
Yeah.
It's
that
not good for him.
no? But I'm saying, and again, excuse my
Yeah,
ignorance,
yeah.
isn't that asking for trouble for someone that doesn't have to go through the training?
You know what? If you're gonna be a criminal, and you're gonna criminal a gun, you're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah,
right?
well,
What's gonna stop you?
Well, let's just start here because that's true. But I want to bring up a point that not a lot of people think about. Right? Okay, so if something is a right. Is owning a gun, being able to defend yourself with a gun, is that a right or a privilege? It's a right.
No, it's a right.
Right?
Absolutely.
So if they're trying to make it a privilege, so let me ask you this, right? So because I get it, right? Because I'm like you, I think constitutional carry is amazing, but I also think you should be educated, right?
Absolutely.
Because yeah. So I mean, I'm not saying I'm against education. I think everybody should take a class and take some target practice for sure. Because before I get into my next point,
is that boom bothering you, by the way?
no, I don't know why, dude.
is that your
I'm
thing?
just fidgeting. Yeah, I'm just
Stop doing that.
fair enough. Fair enough. All right, thank you. Yeah, you should have told me that a while ago.
I love you.
But keep your hands off the goddamn mic.
Yeah, that's right.
I can hear it in my head.
I'm like, yeah, you're gonna have to edit. Yeah, you're gonna have to edit
What are
that.
they driving a car?
I'm Zoom.
Yeah.
That's right, dude. So you're talking about the. I think that people should take the class, but then the second thing is like, dude, if you. So I always talk to people. They're like, we should have these. Restrictions on guns or these laws or whatever, right? Or like the whatever, right? So first of all, I don't think you can legislate morality.
Right.
Like you're trying to legislate stopping bad people from doing bad things. It's not going to happen. The second thing is, it's like, well, okay, so if you start taking guns away, right? Which like might be a real thing. Like it's kind of scary right now.
Right.
But so you talk about this, right? So if you're going to take guns away, how are you going to get them away from people? You're gonna go door to door, and if you go door to door, how are they gonna take
Right.
my gun away? So I always tell people, you're not against. You're against citizens having guns, not government having guns.
Right.
Which is a problem.
A huge problem.
which is a
Dictatorship, by the
problem,
way.
yeah.
But what I mean, and it's basically going back to what you
You
said.
ever heard of the Nazis?
Yeah, right, yeah,
But it's
dude.
basically what you said. It's like me wanting to have a gun,
Yeah,
and I was willing to do the training and everything.
yeah,
But now that it's so easy as I could just go and buy it.
Yeah.
Me being ignorant about it, isn't that dangerous? I mean, I'm responsible. Obviously,
Yeah,
even if
yeah.
I walk out this door and I go buy me a gun, obviously I will go to somebody who knows about it and be like, hey, I just need
Show
to
me how
know
to
the
use this.
whereabouts.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
just show me. And but for a person that's not gonna care, isn't that like
Well, yeah,
asking for trouble?
but again, like you're trying
But
to
it's just like what he said.
well,
Yeah.
you're trying to stop, like you're trying to legislate stopping bad people from doing stupid things. Or like, I mean, dude, it's like, what is that called? Dude, it's just, it's,
Well,
oh,
but
crap, man.
Ain't Angel's ignorance a little bit dangerous? I mean, we love him, but
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
not as educated as maybe Justin and you are.
well, I'm not scared.
And
That's
so,
my point.
So, ain't the ignorance and that's lack of knowledge?
Sure.
It's-
I
it has
understand what you're
nothing to
saying.
do
You know
with
what I mean?
nothing to do with ignorance.
It's just a lack of knowledge. Like,
It's-
like he thinks he's doing the right things, but he
It's-
doesn't have the right training to
Yeah,
know,
no, I understand.
know
Yeah.
exactly what he's doing.
It's the
Yeah.
simple fact that if I can go buy a gun, I can't just go to Shields, right?
Yeah.
Say, I want that gun, and they give it to me, and I take it to the cashier, right?
Yeah.
I
You
have
gotta
to
go through
pass
some
a
stuff.
background check. Okay.
Yeah.
So I get the background checked. I'm good to
that's a
get a
plus.
gun,
Okay.
right? I get the gun. Now to carry it to protect myself, I have to go through a class. Almost 99.9% of people that go through that class that pass the background check to buy that gun are gonna get a concealed permit,
Yeah.
right? Because all it is, hey, we know we have a gun. This is how we operated. This is the rules and the regulations.
Yeah.
You become smart to what the rules are, right?
Yeah.
Now we go same deal. You're going to get a background check. You're going to get all that shit to buy a gun.
Yeah.
Now you're going to be able to protect yourself the way that you should according to what the Constitution says.
Yeah, dude,
So-
which is like run it. I mean, like you get to have, and so, yeah, are there ignorant people out there? Are going to be some stupid people out there doing some dumb things with guns? Sure,
that's-
dude.
that's my
yeah,
point.
Always.
for sure. Yeah,
Always.
for sure. But it does, we have that now.
But the law that passed had nothing to do. I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, because my biggest fear as a parent, you hear all these kids and your kids go over to somebody else's house and they have a gun and it's not stored safely or properly.
Yeah.
And then they're playing with it and somebody gets shot.
Yeah, but that has
yeah.
nothing to do with buying a concealed permit.
but-
Sure.
They get it from
But-
their parents that bought the guns
But
illegally.
This law that passed, and like I said, I'm totally
Yeah,
against
yeah,
this 'cause
yeah.
I don't own a gun. I just have like 17 cameras on my house.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And an alarm system
Yeah,
that alerts everybody in the neighborhood when somebody breaks
All right,
into my house.
baller.
Yeah,
Continue with the
that's what's
story.
up. Yeah, let's go. Yeah,
No, it's just because I don't have a gun.
right. Yeah,
For whatever reason. But this just made it so that people could carry concealed. It didn't do anything to the law to actually pass the background check to get a gun.
no, yeah,
It just
exactly.
made
You
it
still
so
have
that
to,
you could carry it to
Yeah,
the
you still have to get a
7-Eleven to the 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a permit.
You still have
for
to
it.
go through a background check
Yeah,
and buy the
Yeah.
gun legally.
Yeah, it still has to be purchased legally.
Yeah,
whole-
yeah.
But this just made it so that you could take it wherever you go.
Yeah.
And you don't have to go through a class. And
Right, I
go
don't have
through
to tell somebody I have a
training
gun.
and have a permit for that.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And a lot of people would disagree with what I'm going to say is I don't have to go through the class and spend the $50 or $75 or $45 or whatever
Yeah,
it is
whatever it is.
that they're going to take 300 people at a gun show and spit them through the whole process just to get your fucking concealed weapons permit to say that you can carry a gun with you to protect yourself when you were out and about. The whole reason you buy a gun,
Yeah.
we don't buy guns to go kill people. Somebody that's going to do that's going to buy it in the black market or away
Yeah.
from all that shit. That's always going to be the sense. But
Yeah,
the fact
yeah,
that
you're not
I
getting
can go
around
buy a
that.
gun, I'm allowed to have a gun. I have qualified because I'm a good model citizen. Now I can protect me and my family out in public
Yeah.
without you telling me, okay, here's your extra step. They got to trust us, right?
Well, and again, I don't even think it's about trust. I just think it's a right.
It is.
You get to
It is.
have a gun, bro. And I don't think anybody should. And I don't think it's like, I don't think anybody has the right to know that I have a gun.
Isn't your jujitsu enough, dude?
Right. Well, yeah, you got both, right? Now we're running,
Now I
bro.
have both. Is this-
You're like a Swiss Army knife now.
Let's go, man. Right?
I'm more of a butterfly
just-
kind of guy.
Or butterfly knives. Those are cool, bro.
I think those are illegal there, Angel.
yeah. I thought there was a lot of controversy on that, but I thought it was a good move. I was
Well,
like,
I guess there's no
I love
point
it.
of
I love it.
there's no point of interviewing that chick.
I love it.
yeah.
love- no,
I still think it'd be cool to like
even
learn
better.
about something.
Yeah.
Listen, I thought the class was good. One of the reasons the class was good was telling people like, you got a gun, right? And I don't think it should be mandatory, but I think it should be like, I would advise you to go take a class, right?
Right.
Because if you even, I mean, let's say shit hits the fan and it gets real quick. I mean, if you pull that gun out, I mean, and let's say you don't even fire it. Let's say you
You
just
stepped into another category
Yep,
at that point.
you're done,
Right,
bro.
right.
I mean, and the police show
Yep.
up. Like, you might not be in handcuffs, but they're gonna hold you for a minute
Yep.
until they figure out what's going on, bro.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You know,
and-
I like those kicks. These are the ones you are one of those from Dre, right?
These old things.
Hot box sneakers, right?
Yeah, dude.
Is that the first time you're wearing them?
He wore
Those are
no, I
clean.
wore 'em on
You need to
Wednesday.
you need to put the rubber band up on your foot so you don't get your jeans all over your nice white kicks, man.
Oh, is that what it is?
You ever seen that? The bunch of them up right
they
here.
roll it up?
dude. Yeah, so you
Yeah,
don't- so
but I
your
thought you
jeans
did
don't
that
get
when you rode your bike, so you didn't get caught in the
Like
chain.
4-year-old
That too,
virgin.
Yeah, that too. I did that on my mission all the time, man.
Yeah,
Save my
you would get
pants,
all
save my
greasy.
pants.
Even if it didn't caught, it got
No,
greasy,
I got caught in the
right?
chain one time. Ate up my pants.
Yo, did you get any hate on your?
Yeah, dude, all the time.
I know this is uncomfortable. I'm gonna pee again. So
Oh, go.
I think it's you.
Dude,
Oh, I
you
did.
walked out the first
Yeah.
time. He's all.
The Mormons.
He's
We were
done.
talking
He's
about
gone home.
Mormons, and
I don't know.
He has to go call his bishop. Make sure this podcast is okay.
yeah. Can I do that? Can I do that, Dad? You said the what word?
Yeah, dude. These are my.
Those look good, dude. Those look clean.
Right.
I like that. I like. I just have a hard time with sneakers. I went to their website. I just couldn't find any that I liked. I'm not like,
I like
a
a
crazy
few.
sneak.
I
I'm not
like a few.
crazy
It's just
sneaker
like
guy.
you know. Nowadays, I'm like. Sneakers or hats?
Sneakers or hats. Hey,
Sneakers or fedoras?
good. Do it, dude. I
what I
like
mean?
that one you wore on Matt and Becca's.
Right?
The suede one. Was that a suede? Yeah.
I wish it was Pharrell.
Who did
The
it better?
suede.
The
You know, like, who
Pharrell
did
or
it better,
Angel?
dude?
I wish it was.
Bro, I love what you guys are doing. Where did you get the other side of the Beehive? I mean, I get Beehive, but like the other side.
I came up with it.
Nice. Good for you.
We had a couple ideas. We knew that we wanted to keep it Utah based
Yeah.
because of the relationship that I have with him, being two guys from construction,
Mm-hmm.
and at one point him and I worked like really close to the point that I was a foreman and he was my coordinator. So I had to talk to him every day, and that's where our relationship grew up, and then we started having relationships and sexual relationships and shit. And
All right, dude.
yeah, we stared kissing behind
Yeah, I
doors.
wouldn't touch that couch.
Yeah. Don't,
Casting couch.
don't
right?
sit on that. No, but so we knew that we wanted to have a name that screams Utah,
Yeah.
and we went from what was it? We had some ugly
Crazy
ones.
names.
You know what? A lot of them were. I think we tried to ride on the some of the sayings that a lot of Mormon people. We
Yeah, like
went
something-
tabernacle,
like something
we
missionary
went to a lot
or-
of
or-
missionary style podcasts.
Something elder,
yeah.
missionary style podcast, something elder. One of the runner-up name was Open on Sundays.
Yeah, open on Sundays.
Hey, there you go.
podcast.
Right on,
Yeah,
dude.
and then we're like, I think it's there, but
yeah.
because at that point we were meeting at his house, we were recording on Sunday,
Yeah.
and we were like, yeah, that sounds like sounds
Yeah.
like something that we can
Yeah.
make work, and and I just went home and I just came up with this. I was like, what? It's like, and then I'm like, I know Utah's the Beehive state, but why? And then I started looking into it. By the way, don't ask us; we have no idea why.
Yeah.
But I was like, I texted him and I said, dude, how about the other side of the Beehive?
Yeah.
And he was like, that's it.
Yeah.
And then we just based off of that, I came up with the logo. He made this badass sign. Everybody loves this sign.
Yeah, that is a really cool sign, bro.
And it's
I
just like
that.
right in your face when you when you walk in.
Yeah,
He's
absolutely.
gonna take a photo, but he's gonna do his own.
I was gonna go live on Instagram.
I thought you were gonna do what Dre does and get on your phone for a fucking hour and lose complete interest in the podcast. That's what I'm gonna say. Thank you so much for joining us.
Every time
Sponsored by Happiest Cbd.
Can you look up stuff on the computer? Because I'm like 90% sure the Beehive state comes from Deseret. Yeah. And Deseret was a Hebrew word for honeybee, right?
Oh,
so I think that's what it was. But you can confirm.
Why
you
is
can
Utah
confirm.
the honey state? The Beehive state.
Well, when Brigham Young came through, they said.
Oh, you're about to
Deseret,
go there, huh? Okay. All right. Well,
look, listen. The reason I'm not, the reason I'm okay with like I'm very comfortable being Mormon in like all kinds of circumstances is because I went through like a lot of persecution myself.
Yeah.
And I went through a lot. Like I had a mentor. He was my uncle. He had a PhD in religious studies and philosophy, and my whole upbringing in the church was through him. And every chance he got to like tear everything that I believed in to the ground, he would take.
Really?
He would ask me questions. I mean, he would ask me. I'd be like, "Oh, I learned this and whatever, right?" At church, and he'd be like, "Are you sure?"
Was he Mormon?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But he. I mean, he questioned everything, and that was something that he was like very adamant about. And so that's how I grew up, was like having everything questioned, like question everything, like don't believe nothing you hear and half of what you see. Right?
Did he ask you, do you believe in dinosaurs?
What I've heard this, right? Like,
Right.
do
It's
some
a
people
hot
not
topic.
Do some
It's a
people
hot
not
topic.
believe in dinosaurs?
Some people don't believe in dinosaurs. And
Yeah,
I think
I'm not like that southern like
for some reason
what about
a
the
lot of
fucking
people
the Earth is only 3,000 years old.
Because some people try and tie it to
don't fucking-
what the Mormons say,
don't
and you know a lot. Well, you don't believe in dinosaurs. How can you not? It's like
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like one of my, this is funny because
Joseph Smith owned a brewery or whatever, the spittoon or whatever they say. Of course he did.
Yeah, he did. That Brigham Young was a drunkard. He was freaking drunk all the time,
he
bro.
really?
Yeah, all the
Fucking
time.
studs, man.
Yeah,
Of course he had to. Look how far they had to go. Of course he had
dude,
alcohol.
I mean, yeah, dude. I mean, and that way, Brigham Young was drunk even after Joseph Smith revealed the word of wisdom. So, like, I mean, because it was a guideline.
You're
up
gonna
till then.
get stabbed when you walk out.
No,
okay.
you know what? I think it's different.
I've gotten in a
different.
lot of
Your own
arguments.
people.
I've gotten in a lot of arguments with like, stake presidents, bishops, like heated debate. I've gotten called out in church multiple times.
Really?
For like my, because I teach a lot. I'm a teacher. I teach a lot there.
But why does it matter?
You're like the Leah
Why
Ray-
does it matter? If
You're like the Leah Remini of LDS.
You have a show?
Well, I should, man. I should.
It's called Breaking Bread. That's a Mormon reference. You wouldn't get it.
That's cool with me. But see, like I think it's cool to like laugh, at your own religion.
Yeah.
Like,
But don't you feel that today's Mormon are a lot more relaxed
Yeah, dude.
than
Listen,
the old school? So
it's our generation.
My neighbor. And I grew up in a small town.
Where'd you grow up?
Syracuse.
Okay. It's
Way
just a
out
small
in
town
the
boy.
bottoms.
Yeah.
This small town girl.
Yeah.
One of those, right?
Yeah.
I thought you were a boy. My bad.
Well, you know what I mean.
It's 2021, man.
Yeah, come on, man. Put no labels on me there, bud.
It's just a small time, damn day. Anyway,
If I drank well water, I'm all about it. So, my neighbor was the bishop,
Yeah.
and a lot of people like bishops can bishop for a long. I don't want to say reign because that's not the right
I
word,
mean,
but-
if
but
you're
you
a
know what I
bishop,
mean?
you're in there for at least 5 years.
Quite some time,
5 years,
right?
and then the
So,
stake president's 10.
My whole life, the bishop was my neighbor. Now,
Yeah.
his son was probably one of my best friends growing up.
Yeah.
And I did more with that family than I did with my own family outside of camping and
Mm-hmm.
extracurricular things and, dirt bike riding and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. But they were very old school Mormon.
Yeah, I've met some of
But
those
the
people.
newer generation are kind of what I would expect of you. Really laughed and relaxed
Yeah,
about
whatever.
it and
Yeah,
have a
man.
good time, but still keep those core values.
Yeah, like I chose to stay because I have personal feelings, right? But that doesn't mean that I judge anybody else, because I like I said, there's a lot of beautiful religions out there.
Right.
Beautiful religions, like absolutely. I mean, that teach a lot of good things that I think Mormonism misses.
Polyamorous, yeah.
Whatever you want, dude. I don't. Whatever you want, bro. I know those guys. Get real good with. They get real good with themselves. You know what I mean? They're really confident. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, I was like, they're built like a fucking.
No, I mean, like, they have a lot of self-confidence.
Yeah, we had him here. Yeah, are you kidding me?
No, I meant like they're comfortable, like in their own skin. You know what I mean? They're confident. You know, they have to be really self-aware, and they have to be, okay.
Your hands are killing me right now.
Like, just keep doing it.
That's just what I do with my hands, man.
Hey, dude, I want to change completely
Go for it.
Subject here. Have you watched the newest documentary out there?
Sounds documental.
Which one? On what?
The one with the Cecil Hotel?
So I haven't got to watch it yet.
What is that on?
But I know about all of the Cecil Hotel stories.
Yeah.
Including the gal, the Asian gal.
Alyssa Lam.
Yeah, including that one.
Have you seen that video?
No, dude. What are you talking about?
Oh my
I
Look
god!
up Alyssa.
I don't know what the
Alyssa
Cecil.
Lam.
I don't know what the Cecil hotels are.
So the Cecil Hotel is a hotel in downtown LA by Skid Row. It was this shit when it was built. Little by little, started deteriorating. It started being a hotel for people that just got out of prison and the people that didn't
like
know where to stay.
Right.
It was cheap weekly rates or whatever, and there was a lot of serial killers that stay there. Richard Ramirez, which I just watched that too. The Night Stalker.
The Night Stalker.
I just watched that because
What is this on? What
It's on
platform?
Netflix.
Okay, I don't have Netflix.
But so they go over this video and
Yeah, watch this
Is
video.
this one?
Right
I
here.
don't
Is
know.
this it?
Well, hold on. Before we go, I don't know if we can show
creepy,
this.
bro. You're on a.
So if you could just pop it in and out every now and then, that'd be cool. So then, hold on. So this girl is from Canada.
Yep.
She wanted to travel, and she went to LA, went to that hotel, right? So then this is the last time they saw her, and this is what she did. It's a 4-minute video, which so she goes.
You can show. You just can't put it up on the podcast, right?
If you put it like up, like in and out, just so it's not like copyright.
I see what you're saying.
So she walks in, presses all the buttons on the door.
Elevator.
Like Elf.
Yeah, on the elevator. Then for the longest time, the door doesn't close,
Yeah, watch this right here.
and so then she starts.
Gosh, dude,
she starts acting weird, like someone's looking at her, like she's being chased. And you can fast forward too, because it's a 4-minute video. I don't really want to stay here. But then she's acting like that. Then later on, she's outside of the hotel and then she's doing this with her hands, like she's seeing something, like she's talking to somebody. But this was the last time they saw her.
Jeez.
And yeah, look.
And the door never closes.
The
How
door
does
never
the door
closes,
never
which
close?
is so they go over that on the
documentary.
On the documentary.
Oh,
yeah.
dude, now I gotta go get Netflix,
Dude,
bro.
but it's so funny because it kind of tells. So everybody knows this. So if you don't know this,
Yeah.
suck me off. But anyway, so they found her at the water tower on top of the hotel.
Wow.
Before we get to that point, she disappeared, and people started complaining about the water quality in the water at the hotel.
After she disappeared.
Yeah.
So they find her inside of the water tank. Now, this isn't just like a water tank where you just
it's a tank
open the
the
lid
size of
and
this
get
room.
inside.
No, yeah, it's like a water tank.
This
like,
is a legit
where we, like in the
water tank.
Midwest.
Yeah, there was
like
one-
where you have like,
one out of
like
four,
water
yeah.
towers.
So
okay.
the theory on the whole thing is how did she get in there,
Yeah.
first off? And it had to be right after this because she walks through the lobby acting weird and then disappears.
We're good,
That
B.
is nuts, though, dude.
Yeah,
That's terrifying.
So they go over her health problems that she had, and there was a guy that was they bring a guy that was at the hotel at the same time. That I mean, I'm not gonna tell the whole thing.
Yeah.
So he was they try to pin it on him, say that he killed her.
Yeah.
But they go over everything, and
That's bonkers.
dude, watch it and let me know what you think.
All right, deal.
At the end, because
I gotta turn it.
I have my I have my, but it is so cool because they go from the day that she left Canada.
Okay.
And then she went there. She stayed there.
Is the documentary only about her, or is it just about the Cecil Hotel but outlines her?
Because you said there's
go-
more stuff in the
they
Cecil
go
Hotel.
over to Cecil
that are
Hotel.
going on?
So
There's been a lot of odd deaths.
you know who Richard Ramirez is?
No.
He's another serial
The Night
killer that
Stalker?
used to stay there.
Oh,
They
okay.
used
Yes.
to break into people's house. 90s.
Yes,
If you were a
yes.
kid in the 90s, I mean, you knew about Richard
I'm
Ramirez,
actually
right?
a lot younger than you think.
How old are you?
I'm 27.
Oh, okay.
Not that young. Relax.
How old do you
Dre.
think we are, for God's sake,
Yeah.
guy?
Yeah. Well, let's play that game.
I don't know. You guys like? Are you guys like 30?
Who? What are you
30s?
talking about?
Both of you?
How old is he?
I don't know.
He's all, you look
29,
like shit.
tw-
So
20, 29,
So
30,
46?
29 to 32.
I'll be 40 this June.
Oh, okay. All right. I don't know. Are you the same?
I'll be 39 in May.
Okay. Oh, all right. Cool.
Brian's already 40.
Jeez, man.
Like
That's
the guy
awesome.
drew a pentagram on his hand during
Oh.
court.
Yeah, he had it
mean,
tattooed.
Yeah, just fucking.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, so
Creepy.
there's a lot of shit that goes there, and then they interview the manager, and then when they give her the tour, and they start talking about how many people have died, people
Yeah.
have jumped. I mean, it's just now they say that it's haunted and all that, but so they go over the building, they go over the hotel,
Yeah.
and they actually split it at one point. They wanted to do housing for some low income people, and then nice hotel, but then that happened, and it's just.
Yeah, you toast.
I mean,
yeah,
dude,
dude.
it's just I was like,
No dice.
it was only 4 episodes.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch it.
Yeah,
It's
you got
so
you got to
cool.
do that.
Yeah.
That's dope.
And it's so funny because I watched the Night Stalker before I watched that. That just came out on Wednesday,
Right.
Oh wow.
and I was just like,
have to go
dude,
check
it out. I haven't had-
shit, this is so good.
I haven't had Netflix for a while.
Watching last night, I turned on Fear. Do you remember Fear?
Sounds
No.
familiar.
Mark Wahlberg, Reese Witherspoon.
Okay.
Remember that show?
Yes. I never
And
watched it, but
all
I know
I
what
could
you're talking
think,
about.
you have a daughter, right?
Yeah.
How many kids do you have?
Dose. I have 2.
2.
I should be there with Dre. I should be there with Dre doing that.
Yeah, dude, speak Spanish to him.
Yeah.
You
have no
two,
idea.
Yeah, I have
2
2
kids?
boy and a girl.
A boy and a girl. So having girls, I was like, if my daughter ever brings home a motherfucker like this, I mean, the whole movie is just this psycho fucking boyfriend,
Yeah.
you know, whatever. I don't know. Reese Witherspoon's in it.
Look, I just shoot first, ask questions later.
But a forgotten face on this movie, Alyssa Milano. Remember Alyssa Milano? One of the early stellar fucking acting films of Alyssa Milano. You know, what else was she from?
Who's the boss?
Who's the boss? Right?
Charm.
Charm.
Oh, little known fact, fucking Tony Danza, remember?
Yeah.
Good friends with Elton John, right?
Come in closer, tiny dance. Yeah.
Tony Danza.
Tony Danza.
Yeah.
That's awesome,
But
dude.
yeah, just watching that, I was just like, hey,
Yeah.
fuck, that day is gonna come
Yeah.
when dudes start knocking on your door.
And then we do the bad boys.
But
Then we
listen,
did the bad boys thing.
Then we
But
do the
listen,
bad
that's
boys
why
thing.
that's why I teach my daughter jujitsu, because I
Right?
don't have to. I know my daughter whoops
yeah,
some
but once she
ass.
falls in love,
No, we still
Oh,
do
shit.
that.
even if you
She'll-
don't like her, if you don't like him, she's
Yeah,
not
but at
like
least
him.
she can protect herself.
still
That's my
screw- oh,
thing.
yeah,
You know what
okay.
I'm saying? Is like she'll be fine. She'll be all right.
Makes sense.
I actually taught her a few like basic self-defense things,
Yeah.
and she does good, man.
He's like, kick him in the balls.
She
That's what I do.
Yeah, she learned how to, she learned how to, if somebody comes up behind you and grabs you or like in a full mount. I also taught her how to, like, take someone down the right way.
Yeah.
And she did that to one of her friends on, accident, but I think it was on purpose.
Of course
but
it was
I,
on purpose.
But I taught her well. What do you
gotta-
do, man?
you
I
gotta
taught her
try.
that. I taught her that. So I was like, yeah, all right. Well, I'll have this conversation later because I believe that like the same way you teach your son is the way you teach your daughter, and that's just to be an absolute monster.
Right.
And then
Right.
and then teach them how to control it. I need you to just unleash, be very assertive and buck wild, and then I'll teach you how to rein it in.
But lead by an example, especially when
Yeah.
it comes to daughters. I mean, boys the same way. But,
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
There's and I don't know. I don't have boys. I only have
Yeah,
girls. But
yeah.
it's somebody that never wanted kids that ended up with girls. I mean, life changing.
Yeah, girls are different. That's fun. Girls are fun. My son's a monster. He's great, but there's something very special. And I'm like, and I don't know, when I became a girl dad, I became a feminist. Just because I wanted to teach my daughter to stand up for herself,
Right.
and that you could, be, like there was more to just like your looks, right?
Yeah.
You could do a lot more, and you could be assertive and you can get what you want, and you know what I mean? So that's what I did.
Yeah, don't live
Not
on
crazy.
hopes that you're going to have to rely on somebody.
Yeah.
Take
Be
life
very
into your own
independent.
hands.
Yeah,
Be
be very
very
independent.
Fathers begin to your daughters.
Is that John
Oh,
Mayer?
who's that?
Is that John Mayer?
dude.
Oh, I'm not John Mayer. I know
you
he plows
insinuating-
pussy, but I don't
Are you
know anything
insinuating
else.
that Tina
And an
Turner-
outstanding guitar player,
Oh,
from what
yeah.
I hear.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he is.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, speaking of hot messes, this podcast is all about finding the gay in every one of
Oh,
us.
we're going to go there. We're going to go there.
What better to ask than an active LDS person right here?
I love wrestling. That's it.
Have you you've listened to a couple of episodes of the podcast,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Do you have any idea where we're going with this? Because we
No.
ask this on all of our guests. This is a
No.
ritual
You
on
need
the
to
other
kiss
side of
us.
the beam.
All right. Oh, damn.
Who
All right, let's go.
is your man crush?
Oh,
He's like
And
Dre.
if you say John Jacques Machado, I'm fine with that.
no. Like Matthew McConaughey.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's
a good
second
one. That's a good one.
That's
He's good.
Jason's.
That's a good one. Did Jason say that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
he's good. I mean,
Now, okay. Matthew McConaughey, like now, or are we talking Dallas Buyers Club? Fucking Matthew McConaughey, right?
no.
Dallas Bikes, he was sick and he had
The HIV.
The HIV.
Yeah, well, sometimes acid.
There you go.
Or James Spader.
Oh, see, look at those first two, dude. Yeah,
What one was that one from?
I can see why people get creamy over him.
Or James Spader. I like James Spader.
James
That's a good
Spader?
one too.
I like his.
You
I
like
like
the
the way.
gentleman,
I
don't
like the
you?
way I like the way he tells his stories. He's a he's a
Do
good.
you watch that show?
I like how
one?
Brian types in Matthew McConaughey, sexy, instead of just Matthew McConaughey.
Well, I've gotten a lot of like, there's
I'm on this motherfucker with no shirt on.
No wonder why sometimes I go home and I Google shit. I'm like, where did I look for any of this stuff?
It's all
oh,
Pornhub
dang.
thinks I'm into dudes now for some reason. What the fuck?
It's like all the, it's like a video you must like.
What are you talking about? Which James Spader show are you talking about? Because I've watched them all.
Isn't he James Spader? Isn't he the one on the something list?
Blacklist.
The Blacklist.
Yep. Boston Legal. He was in the office for a little bit.
he was
Age of Ultron or something
when
like that.
he grew up with.
Lunar New Year, you're killing it, Brian.
No, Google's fucking me up right now.
Have you seen the interviews of him with Jimmy Fallon? And,
James Spader?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
So he tells he knows stories. Yeah, he knows stories. He grew up with JFK's kids.
Oh,
in
wow.
their
Oh, shit.
family. Yeah, and so Jackie O used to babysit him.
Oh, no way.
And their kid, yeah, and so he
Wow.
has stories about going through their house and shit, and like listening to their
Yeah.
albums and shit.
Yeah.
He's a super fan of jazz music.
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
Yeah. So when he goes to interviews with Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy's always like, "Give me another story," and they're pretty cool. They're pretty badass.
Yeah. No. I like the way that James, the way his ability to tell a story.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I like his mind.
He's a very authentic actor.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Very,
he doesn't have Twitter. He doesn't have.
No, and it seems like every
Nothing.
part he plays is a very calculated part when he does the role itself.
Yeah,
Like
and
he's-
every
has that,
role-
almost has that pause like Elon Musk would have
Yeah,
in his roles,
Yo,
right?
Elon Musk wasn't Rogan just now.
Yeah, he was.
Again,
it was so
yeah.
funny. We released Utah's Elon Musk, and then Joe Rogan releases Elon Musk.
That's his
I was
boy
like, you
now,
mother-
man. Him and Chappelle, they
Fucking
always hang out
buddies,
together
yeah.
now.
Yeah, dude, that's cool though. How about that, man?
A little bit of marijuana, fucking change everything up.
Yeah,
Everything,
dude.
dude.
Elon's good though, man. That's
Hey,
great. Oh, what'd you do, Richard?
beer on me.
there, dude.
It's good. It's white. It's cute.
Before we go, what
Yeah.
kind of what's your plans for Happiest? What's your plans for the podcast, the
Yeah, man.
thinking project? What's
I think the plans are to grow with this Podmunity, man.
Yeah?
Like, for real. Like, I was just on the phone with Dre Rocca before we got on.
Well, we
you
have to have a meeting about
Well, you
that.
know we're the presidents, and
are.
one of us is
You
the
are.
first lady too. But we'll talk about this.
No, but I mean, seriously,
Yeah.
like that was kind of like my thing. I was like, I want to be a part of like a community. I want to be a part of like something bigger, right? Because you can have a podcast, but so there's that. As far as Happiest goes, man, we just need to start slinging wit. We just need to start slinging, and then hopefully start advocating. You know, I was on with I think you guys know the 420V boys.
Yeah.
The 420V boys. We talked a lot about cannabis education. I stopped posting on this.
Yeah,
one.
those guys are balls
Go
deep in
down.
this
Go
stuff.
down.
Yeah,
Just,
they are.
Oh, never mind.
If you go to my personal Instagram page, that's where I'm starting to post more.
Dalton.
Yeah, Dalton K Jensen. That has all my stuff. But but Happiest, dude, I want to rock and roll on that, dude. We're trying to do the in and out thing where we're not trying to have like everything, you know, like CBD everything.
essentials, right?
Yeah, I want. Yeah, you have like
Yeah.
this is, you know, you can tell that this is a real. You know what I mean? Like there's a message here.
Do you what? I
There he
just
is,
drew a
okay.
blank right there.
Okay.
There's K the dog.
That's him and I,
This,
right? There, the first
yeah,
one.
420. Yeah, that's right. Me and Angel.
What,
420 V boys. This shoddy right here.
It's Dre Rocca.
Dre Rock.
That's
yeah.
how I started listening to you because of Dre.
See that
Can we
picture?
black out his
See
face?
that picture of
We
the
don't talk
couple in
about
bed where the dude's yawning? That's usually my wife yawning. But,
That was like a little product video I tried to make for them.
what podcast do you listen to?
Well, dude, I listen to a lot, man. I listen to all of ours like locally.
Yeah.
I love those, but like some
So
of the
like
big guys.
go-tos you've listened to for years,
Like
that are-
religiously.
that are-
Oh yeah,
Who's your
Joe Rogan, Aubrey Marcus. Those are the two right away.
You listen to every Joe Rogan though?
No, not everyone.
Do you,
I'll find
let
like
me
an
ask,
interesting
do you
one.
dip your toe in everyone and then decide from there? This isn't for me.
Yeah, if he interviews a pretty cool person, I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. But yeah, Aubrey Marcus is another great
That's a
one.
good one.
I love his. I like Ben Shapiro's podcast because he has a lot of cool guests on. He's had Joe Rogan.
Now we
and,
know where you sit on the fence.
Jordan Peterson. No. Actually, dude, I got in trouble for this on Dre's podcast.
Did you?
I was like, you're MAGA. I'm like, no, I'm not MAGA.
Isn't that shitty? Just because you
I'm white and I'm Christian. I have to be MAGA.
Exactly.
I have to be
So
MAGA.
that's the side of the fence you go. You're talking to right here. I get that all the time. In fact,
I'm like the exact opposite.
Angel
I
can't
really
hang out
don't.
with any of the other guys that we podcast with because they have the white guy
Yeah.
he podcasts
They're
with.
like, yeah,
so,
dude, you're coming with that guy. I'm like, yeah, I told them. It's like, you're gonna have to
never mind.
stay away.
So I'm not.
Really? I'm like, I was like, are you kidding me?
Man, you can kick it, right?
That's right, dude.
oh yeah, you guys can
I'm
roll.
super. Yeah, I'm more like I'm pretty libertarian. Actually, if I had to label myself, that's what I would be.
When did you stop eating meat?
When did I stop eating meat?
Right?
No.
Oh. Am I off on that one?
I think that's vegetarian.
Oh shit! Sorry, my bad.
That's so funny.
You know what? I used to think pescatarian was a religion. So
That's just
right.
fish, isn't it?
I think so.
Hey, if that's the case, see what I'm saying? Anyway, is there anything?
Yeah.
Where can people find you? Where can people
Yeah, dude.
get
so
to your stuff?
I think the biggest one, you can follow me my personal Instagram page at Dalton K Jensen. You can find us happiestmed.com if you want some CBD. And I have a Facebook group that I post a lot of other content on, and that's the Thinking Project Pod. But yeah, man, there you go, man. Number 2,
And
number
we also
14,
didn't go
number
to
8.
you're actually an accountant. What is?
Yeah, I got my bachelor's degree in accounting. Yep.
This guy's smart.
What do you do for a living?
I sell.
A cell?
I'm a salesman. Yeah, bud. Listen,
You can
because
sell
I
a
thought
cat
it was
to a mouse, dude.
What did one of the best ones? Fucking he can sell. No, I burped, but I didn't puke. Thanks for calling me out on the podcast. You're really well at that.
so I did.
You could sell a popsicle or a ketchup popsicle to a woman in white gloves.
Oh, there you go, dude. Maybe. I don't know. Let's try it. I'm down. But that's what I did. So I got my bachelor's degree in accounting because I really like the finance side of things. I think that's important. And then but I like sales too much. I like dealing with people too much. But it makes it a little more easier for me to like sell to somebody when they know that I'm like an accountant. They know that I'm not like I'm not an idiot, right?
Yeah,
so
done
like
with
we
money.
we can talk, right?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? And so if I'm talking to like an executive or something like that, I'm like, hey, look, I get it. Like, we can look through your books together. We can do whatever to kind of help out. So that's what I did.
He
there.
walked in and he dumbing it down. He's like, I don't need all my knowledge for these guys. Let's turn it down to
No
one.
way, man. No
Turn it
way.
down to one.
Dude.
This one's not getting a Pulitzer Prize, for God's sakes.
Oh, I hope so. Hey, but I think the coolest Pulitzer Prize is Pulitzer Prize winner is Kendrick Lamar. You know, he's a Pulitzer Prize winner for one of his hip hop albums.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it was. I think his album "Damn."
What teams he play for?
Yeah, what sports? What sports?
It's not jujitsu. So he's like, what?
Yeah, go team, go game, go sports balls.
Come on.
Oh,
come
it's a
on,
rapper?
Jensen.
Kendrick Lamar's a rapper.
Kendrick
He's
Lamar-
one of the best of all
I
time, bro.
thought that was the guy that
Dr.
passed out at the
Dre,
Bunny Ranch.
Compton.
Yeah, no.
That's the guy
Kendrick
that went all
Lamar.
those whores, did the cocaine, and
No,
No, that's
The Bunny Ranch.
Lamar Odom.
when he said Lamar, I don't fucking
No, Kendrick Lamar.
Okay, so a rapper, right?
He won a Pulitzer
Lamar
Prize.
Odom is fighting.
Fighting fucking
Aaron Carter.
Aaron Carter, yeah.
What's
In
up
a
with all this?
boxing match.
What's up with all these
Fucking mess,
bullshit
dude.
boxing
I don't
matches,
know,
dude? That's pissed me. You know who really? Jake Paul really pissed me off. You want to know why? Because I'm not the guy who like. I don't like you, so let's set up a boxing match
Yeah.
after school. Like, go fuck yourself. We're gonna fight right now.
God damn.
I really don't like that. Though, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I
We're
think
going out to the monkey bars.
I think
I'm gonna
because-
kick
But
your ass.
seriously,
just the world we live in right now, where
I get it. Go get your
MMA
check,
is
man. Go
coming
get-
up. Boxing is still there. It's a way
Yeah.
for people to make money. People are gonna buy a pay-per-view.
Yeah, look, I mean, get
That's
the
what
check,
that's
right?
what it
And if you're
all
gonna
is.
hype, and if you got to get the check, and you got to talk a little shit to get it, like, go ahead. But I really felt like Jake Paul was not that way.
I hope Ben Askren beats the shit out of him.
I think
don't
he
see
will.
it, but
I think he will.
Whatever.
Well, here's the thing, though. This is why I don't like this kind of stuff. Because, like, they're both going to get paid and they're going to go live their lives, right? Whatever happens, we'll forget about it the next day. But, I'm more of a principle kind of guy. Because Dana White came out and said that, right? He was like,
Right.
this guy's talking shit to some people that if they saw you in a bar,
Right.
they'd beat the
Fuck
hell out of you.
up, right?
And, there's no rules. in a
The
bar.
fact that he's like, if you want somebody to fight, I will let you fight Amanda Nunez. And she will fuck you up. And there's no joke about that. She will
Oh, yeah,
rock
Amanda
his shit.
Nunez.
You think so though?
Oh, are you kidding me?
No, but in
Are
a
you
boxing.
kidding me?
In a boxing.
I would
Yeah.
put my house
Yeah.
Really?
on it.
Amanda
that she
Nunez-
would
Amanda
fuck him
Nunez
up.
isn't a
He was
joke.
very calculated on who he picked to do this boxing match. He offered it to Michael Bisping. Michael Bisping would have killed that motherfucker. He offered
Yeah,
it to Connor.
Connor would've
Let's not
destroyed
even
him.
talking about. Connor just fought. It went 7-8 rounds with the greatest ever do it.
Yeah, Floyd.
Who did
Mayweather.
this dude
Come on,
beat?
dude.
A basketball star at best.
Dude, and and whatever, bro. That guy's a joke. He's a joke. It's a joke.
The only thing about Ben Askren is he is an Olympic level wrestler, like a legit,
So he's not going to get tired. They're
legit
yeah,
competitor
oh, for sure.
So it'll be fun.
Amanda Nunez is an animal, dude. She's awesome.
She's the GOAT.
She is amazing.
She beat everybody. She beat Holly
I
Holm.
mean, yeah.
She beat Ronda. She beat Cyborg. She beat everybody.
She's got more title defenses, like undefeated title defenses. I mean, she's like 7-0 in title defenses. Like
Yep.
no one. I mean, you're talking like John Jones kind of stuff, dude. Good for her. Good for her, and yeah, and she's
Third one down, all the way to the left.
this one. That one?
Your other left. B. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Never mind.
That's great, dude.
Anyway.
I just like watching her kick somebody in the face.
Dude, yeah, man. That's some
I mean,
that's some Anderson
Oh,
Silva.
look at that one with the belts covering her. Yeah.
Oh, fuck
That's the way to promote. Now I'm watching that fight. I know she's not interested
Into
in
dudes?
man,
Yeah,
but,
not at all.
I
Anyway,
don't
let's
think
get
so.
out of here.
All right, dude. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for having me, bro.
Thanks for having
this
us.
is like a
Bye.
sweet
Thanks
setup
for having
too.
us, man. I appreciate you on your sponsorship.
Oh, I was like, yeah, dude. You guys got to tell me what you think about it, man. Take some of that.
we're
number two.
we're gonna go home. The wife's looking. She's interested in the sleep.
That's good, dude. My wife
I'm
uses
stoked
that.
about the
actions.
freeze. I do cortisone injections in my wrist,
Yeah,
so I'm interested to see if I
do-
see any difference in that one. So
that's good, dude.
Yeah.
that's
We'll
way
get
good,
back
bro.
to you.
yeah,
Let's do it, man. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming, man.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
That's cool. Thanks for being a part of the pop community.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize what that was until you guys said, and I was like, I kind of forced myself in, but I was like, but I'm cool enough. I think I can hang.
Of course.
I appreciate it.
Go ahead, dude.
Let us know. We could do your podcast.
Oh yeah, dude. Yes,
We'd love to come to your house.
Yeah,
I'll make sure I don't eat so your wife can feed us.
go make something.
Yeah.
Dude, I really want a studio though.
Yo, before we go, again, shout out to the IGY622 podcast for the amazing fundraiser that they put on. Brian, keep grinding, keep doing what you're doing. The world needs people like you, so keep that up. As well as our sponsors, Happiest Cbd, best quality, lowest price guaranteed CBD products. Go ahead and get you the what do we got? The number 8 sleep, the number 14 freeze, and the number 2 CBD oil. Happiestmed.com for all your CBD needs, as well as From Scratch.
From scratch, you know the address by heart. I don't know it.
If you want fresh made meals, no one does it better than From Scratch. My personal favorite, go down there, get the roasted beet salad, their seasonal beers, their seasonal alcohol.
You're gonna live with some stuff too, so you can.
Outstanding. From Scratch, 6200 East Gallivan Avenue, Salt Lake City. Scroll down there for me, B. For reservations and takeout, 801-961-9000. That's 801-961-9000. Thanks for coming, man. We appreciate
absolutely,
it.
B, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/DJ Bad Boy Brian. Brian with an I. Just a throwback for you. Shit, now I don't got it on my screen. The Beehive State was called the Beehive State due to the reference to Deseret in the Book of Mormon.
He was right.
So
there we go.
Just a throwback fact check.
Yeah,
Fact checking.
Yeah, it'll take you 47 minutes to figure that out. Thanks, Brian.
No, I love it though. Right on, dude.
I had it the whole time. I just didn't want to interrupt.
Thank you.
You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Grindr, Bubble, fucking, and all of those.
You can find me, Instagram, jsims_68. I'm on the Facebook, and I just opened a MySpace, so look me the fuck up.
Top 8, let's go.
Follow the show on the other side of the Beehive on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
Please
We just
subscribe.
barely reached 500 on Facebook, so thank you so much. Anything else?
No.
Anything else? We'll get out of here.
Roll Tide.
Until next time, take care of yourselves, and we will see you on the other side of the Beehive.
Peace.